Washington. Pass for Williams. He got it. To the end zone, leaping catch, Couch, touchdown.
Welcome back to beautiful Eau Claire, Wisconsin, here as the Eau Claire Axemen of the Arena League take on the St. Joseph's Goats. It has been an interesting up and down season for both of these teams. St. Joseph's being the better of the two with a 4-2 record, hoping to get their way into the playoffs with a solid chance to go into it tonight. Axemen, it's been a tale of two seasons for them. After some very close games to start off this season, they have not been able to finish, and after falling in their last one, 62-24, has fallen down to an 0-7 game, however, or to 0-6. However, tonight could be that first time for the Axemen to be able to put a win in the win column here at home. And just looking at how the St. Joseph's Goats were able to win against the Nebraska Siege to put them past that 3-2 record to 4-2, 66-58. But they had some real big help from Angelo Trujillo. 405 yards through the air, 10 touchdowns to 0 interceptions. And I mean, that is a perfect record for that man who has been all over for this team this season. I mean, he can quite literally be one of the really great versatile players out there on the field, especially at the quarterback position. Not only is his leadership very important to this team, but his ability to be able to stretch plays and be able to really find his guys out there on the field. And as for the Axemen, while it has been an up and down season for the team, and they really were lacking at quarterback without Malik Gaylord for the last two games, he's been able to come in, Joshua Murray's been able to come in and really be that very versatile player that they really needed in this season, especially having to come back and try and pick up where Malik Gaylord had left off, having that knee injury for the last two games. 4 carries, 67 yards on the ground to go along with a touchdown, and then across in the air, he was able to throw for 38 yards with 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, and then in receiving, he was able to get 2 catches for 20 yards as well, really stacking up that stat sheet for him as well. So he's been able to show that he is one of the better players out there on the field, and that's going to be a player that those St. Joseph Goats are going to be looking at today. We'll be right back with more Arena League football right after this. And welcome back to more Arena League football here in Eau Claire, Wisconsin in the Sonatag Event Center. My name is Daniel Zons, and before your coin flip tonight, we're going to be looking at just how much of a chance the St. Joseph's Goats have to make the playoffs. They're sitting at 4-2 right now in the season and currently below the Nebraska Siege, who they've had some problems with in the past. However, they were able to get this win this last weekend against them to be able to set themselves in a nice position to potentially be able to get themselves over the hump. And they're going to be facing off against some really, one of the hardest teams out there, especially Nebraska Siege, who they've had trouble with in this season. But now they'll be playing against an Eau Claire Axemen team who unfortunately has been on the other side of that, just 0-6 to start off this season. Not really much able to go for them. They've been having injuries left and right, and it just feels like a loss for a lot of the season. However, tonight they can be able to get their first win of the season, as we took a look at coach of the St. Joseph's Goats, Dorsey Golston, who's really looking forward to that playoff berth potential. But the Axemen are able to really get that first win here tonight. They just really need to be able to show that they can pass block a lot of the ways, and then also on top of that, get their guys out in the field and get them open for a lot of the passing opportunities out there. There's been a lot of mismatch here this season. Joshua Murray, who's more of a wide receiver, he's played a bunch of quarterback, as well as a few other players who've had to step in at quarterback too because of injury. Malik Gaylord, however, he should be back in for this game. Setting off to throw. That one's fired. That one's going to be a return for Bo Butler Jr., who can be a speedster out there if he can get some room. He's going to get stepped up at the 15, and that's how we are going to start our game here at the Sontag Events Center in the Regional League. Bo Butler Jr. on the season. 99 yards with a few touchdowns to go with him as well. He's been one of the X factors to find down the field. Typically, whenever something goes awry, Malik Gaylord's going to look down deep to try and find some way to get it to Bo Butler Jr., and he's usually able to get it to him. Gaylord sends a man in motion, takes snap, drop back, toss up, and there's a flag on the field right there. Joshua Murray caught up right around the 15-yard line, and that one's going to be a pass interference to start off this game. Excellent move by Joshua Murray to be able to pull ahead and catch that hook on that as he was trying to run up the field. And that's just an easy call for the officials here.
Pass interference, defense number 17. 10-yard penalty, automatic, first down.
That's PJ Caldwell called for that penalty. Our referees out there, Tyler Downs, Brett Hoofendick for the headline judge, line judge Patrick Mullen, our back judge Jeff Hobbs, and then our sky judge here is Lucas Carnes. So now the Axemen set up around the 24-yard line, encroaching on St. Joseph's Goats territory, but they're still back behind that as the line of scrimmage backs them up about a yard. Gaylord sends a man in motion, that's Murray. Shotgun snap, fires that one. He's looking for Murray again. Did he catch that? Incomplete. Very close to a catch on that one. It looked like he snagged it, almost had his hands underneath it, and it's gonna land harmlessly to the ground. Incomplete. Couple of players for the Axemen looking for a flag too, nothing called. So now that's gonna bring up second down here, and 10 to go. As we're gonna have a stoppage in play right now.
The ruling on the field of an incomplete pass is under further review. Timeout.
And so that pass that was called incomplete, that was overturned for a touchdown, that is going to be under review here by the referees. And I mean, looking at it, it looks really close. His hands get underneath the ball, but it's whether or not he's actually got control of it and whether or not the ball pops out at the end there, because that is the part I just could not see from that far right side. So that's really what they're looking for here. And this could be the difference between a touchdown and an incomplete pass. So a lot on the line to start off this game already. Just some fun sparks between the two all ready to start off this one. And he's got like a solid grab on it, but it's going to be whether or not he's moving around with the ball once it hits that solid ground. Because once it pops out, that's going to be an incomplete pass. And which they will still be around the 25-yard line. So they're not in a bad position to be in right now, but they will still want to potentially have a touchdown on the board to start off this game rather than having to hopefully push down the field and go for another score.
After review, the ruling on the field is upheld. Incomplete pass, second down.
So that will stand as an incomplete pass. A little bit of movement as he was trying to grab that ball. He had his hands underneath it. However, the ball just bounced up a little bit off that turf. It's going to keep it as an incomplete pass, and it's going to bring up 2nd down and 10 here for the Eau Claire Axemen to start off at the 24. Gaillard, Murray in motion. Toss pass to Butler, Butler Jr. He's going to move up maybe a couple of yards there, and that's going to bring up 3rd down and long. On a little nifty little toss, little touch pass there. Almost an end around, but still technically counts as a pass attempt. So that's going to bring up 3rd down, and on the season so far, 30 on 3rd down, 48%. Compared to St. Joe's, who is 37% on the season for converting 3rd down. So Malik Gaillard for the Axemen, sending a couple players in motion there. Both of them turn back. Fires that one deep, and that's going to be almost caught. It's going to be incomplete. Excellent job there by number 20, Amir Anderson from the St. Joseph's Goats. So that'll bring up 4th down now, and this is 4-down territory to go. You're inside the St. Joseph's Goats side of the field, so potentially seeing an Axemen conversion on 4th down here, or potential to go for it coming up. And they are going to go for it here. So I formation right now. The ball's going to hit the ground. Gaillard fires that one. It's going to be caught for a 1st down. Big time catch for Bo Butler Jr., his 1st of the night. And a very important one too on 4th down and 8. Big time 1st down for number 4. Or for number 1. And Bo Butler Jr. has been the Mr. Reliable out there. Whenever anyone needs a 1st down catch, whether it's Malik Gaillard out there or Joshua Murray, they've been able to find him all over the field. Gaillard sends 2 men in motion. It's Murray and it's Bo Butler. Gaillard fires that one. It's intercepted! Intercepted, and that's returnable. Past the 25, he's going to be down. Big time interception there. Again, that was a big time turnover for the St. Joseph's Goats, as Ja'Kalen Jackson, number 11, came away with that interception. And just like that, a big time turnover after what was nearly a touchdown for the Axemen. An excellent job by Jackson to be able to read his eyes and just return it for a little bit of ways, get them back close towards that 25-yard line. That's going to set up this offense, a very dangerous offense for this oncoming drive here. Trujillo, drop back throws, that's going to be tipped, and it's going to be incomplete. Incomplete ball there, and that's going to bring up 2nd down here with 11:21 to go in this 1st quarter. Looking for Boo Smith there, who had himself a game in the last one. As we talked about before, Angelo Trujillo, as he takes that snap, fires that one deep. He's got a man, incomplete. Just barely tipped off the outstretched hand of number 5, Ryan Martinez. Excellent coverage there on the play to knock that one free, and that's going to be an incomplete ball. Just merely outside. Cinquay Grant did a great job of making up ground to be able to cover that. Snap. Trujillo fires out. It's caught. Boo Smith gets close towards that. Maybe back to the line, but barely more, but there's a flag down on the field. We'll see.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense number 7. 15-yard penalty. Automatic 1st down.
So Richie Murphy, who made the tackle on that's going to get called for a face mask. So what was only a gain of maybe a couple of yards there was going to bring up about a 3rd and 8, maybe a 3rd and 9, depending on where they were going to spot it, has now been pushed to another 1st down here for the St. Joe's Goats, as that one moves them all the way to the 10-yard line. Smith in motion. Trujillo fires it right over the middle. He's going to get his man. He's going to get to about the 5, but then a bunch of green jerseys swarm him. Some big-time hits, but still a great catch there by number 4, Don Marshall. Dom Marshall. He's a big, strong hand guy. That's one of the players they're going to throw that to in the back of the end zone if they have a chance here. Is Trujillo moving quick, fires that. Boo Smith outright. He's going to cut back. He's going to try and find something. Can't get much there, though, but he's going to get about a couple of yards, so it's going to bring up a second down. Or third down, I should say. An excellent job really swarming to the ball and not allowing anyone outside those numbers. Trujillo, pump fakes, fires that. It's going to be incomplete. It bounced off that back banister. Lands harmlessly on the ground. That's going to bring up fourth down at the 4-yard line of the Axemen side of the ball, or outside of the field. Trujillo. Crowd roaring outside. He's got a man to his right. Trujillo fires that to the corner. Did he get in? He stopped short. They're going to call him short. So he completed the ball on that far left side, but he's going to get stopped at around the 1. He just could not reach his hand inside. That's another great job there by Cinque Grant. Had a pass breakup on the last one, was able to make a game-changing stop on that one. I mean, that's the difference between a touchdown and now it's still tied. So with 9 minutes to go in the first quarter, the Axemen are going to be able to now set up from their own 1-yard line, which that in and of itself is going to be a hard one for them to manage. Their pass blocking hasn't been all there this season. However, this is the time now, especially on the last game of the year, to really lock in on this and make sure that they're able to get everything set up. So Gaylord, no one else around him, sends a man in motion. Skarmas and Murray, fires that to Skarmas. Big Ethan Skarmas gets a little bit of breathing room for the offense there. Maybe a pickup of 1 or 2. Better than being at the 1-yard line. They're going to actually bump them closer towards that 4-yard line for that continuation. So a big-time pickup there for Skarmas on what was a little dump-off route. So Malik Gaylord has 930 passing yards on the season. Can he get some more? Fires that one over the middle. Can't get his man, Bo Butler Jr. It's going to be incomplete. Incomplete. Excellent job by Jay Petrie on that one, number 17. Has Bo Butler Jr. on that side, nearly has it through his hands, but just a little too far out. And a great job by Jay Petrie to really clamp down. The defensive backs for the St. Joseph's Goats have been one of the best in the league so far. Being able to cause so many turnovers, and especially the havoc that they can cause in the backfield as well. You got to watch out if they're going to blitz, as they're sending a blitzer right now. Gaylord's got to throw that one away, and he does. It's going to be incomplete. Nearly sacked for a safety back there, but instead it's going to bring up fourth down, and Axemen just lucky to get away from this without having a turnover in the back end zone or potential for a safety. Nearly had him thrown out of the back of the end zone before he fired that one away. So it still is going to be Axemen giving it back to the St. Joseph's Goats. However, they're giving this one away on this would be what would be a punt in the NFL. Just giving it to them on the 15-yard line rather than having to go for it on fourth down. So St. Joe's will get it automatically at the 15 since the Axemen gave it back. Trujillo fakes the snap, fires that one. He's got a wide open man. That's Boo Smith. He's dangerous, and he's going to toss that one backwards. Flags on the play. That may have been a forward pass, but either way, for right now, it's going to be a massive gain. 2 flags down on the field. This one, it looked like that pass may have been a bit forward on what was supposed to be a reverse to the other side of the field. Still an excellent job to get Boo Smith wide open, and then just a little bit too much after the fact. When he
illegal forward pass, offense. 5-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. First down.
So they still will pick up a little bit of game. However, as soon as they stopped right there, or as soon as he passed that ball forward, that's where they're going to put it. So around that 20-yard line is where they're going to go. What was a big-time play there by Boo Smith, who's a very shifty player and one of the X factors for that St. Joe's team. You almost have to know where he is on every side of the field because he can really turn up the numbers. And especially with Angelo Trujillo back there, who's been absolutely one of their...
It is second down.
So it will stay second down then, instead of moving back to first down. So the play continued. Sends two-man in motion. That's Trujillo. Fires that one deep. Had Boo Smith for a second, but lost it in the lights. It looked like he had him on a perfect route there, and that's going to just be incomplete. So now bringing up third down here. After what was a nice play out to Boo Smith. I don't know if he ran the wrong route up top, but it looked like there was a bit of chatter in the back about whether Smith was supposed to go straight up or go a bit to the corner. Turn that into more of a corner route. But either way, that brings up third down and short here. Trujillo, man in motion. Takes a snap, flag down. Big catch, but that's going to be coming back. Couple of men on the St. Joseph side came off.
Defense number 36 with contact. 5-yard penalty results first down.
But because the defensive player came up and made contact first, that's going to be 5 yards on the defense. So Axemen, again, another penalty after what was another good start to this. Could have potentially got him down to that third down and maybe a fourth down there, but now it's going to be a first down automatically close towards that 25-yard line. Trujillo, toss that back. It's going to be a short gain there. Maybe a gain of 2 or 3. They got it all stacked up. That's Malik Wilson, put down on the roster sheet as an athlete because he does not need a position. He will go wherever on the field he is needed. He's a coach's favorite, as they say. Trujillo, 2 men in motion around him. He can be dangerous on the run. Gives it to his man. That's going to be a big-time play. Maybe a gain of 5 on that one. Brian Martinez again on that play. And that's a big catch there for a little medium gain, but that still is going to get him closer to that first down. Now third down and 5. Fakes the handoff. Trujillo communicating, gives it to his man. That's going to be a big-time play. Did he get in? No, they're going to stop him down at the 2-yard line. An excellent throw there by Trujillo. And then a great play after by Don Marshall to keep his legs moving forward and keep getting closer to that 1-2-yard line. Cinque Grant on the tackle there again. Handoff there. And that one's going to get blocked up there. Excellent job on Ryan Martinez. A sea of green jerseys just swarmed him. Looked like James Dorr made that first contact, and he's been all over the field for the Axemen this season. 4 sacks total for him. Trujillo, 1 man to his right, is another to his left, in motion now. Fires that one, that's going to be incomplete. Marshall had it in his hands, but could not reel it in. It's going to be an incomplete ball. It's going to bring up third down here, and goal to go. Third down and goal from the 9-yard line with 3:57 left in this first quarter. Still tied up 0-0. Sends a man in motion. Toss to the left side. That's going to be a big gain close towards that 5-yard line, but not much more after that. Malik Wilson again in on that play, but stopped again, that time by Cinque Grant. So now 4th down and goal here to go. 3:25 to go left in this first quarter, and already we've seen 2 back-to-back 4th down plays from inside the 10-yard line. Let's see what the Axemen can do here on the defensive side of the ball. Boo Smith in motion on the left side. Trujillo stops back, throws that up. That's gonna be knocked around. Who came down with it? No call yet. Incomplete ball. Either way, it's an incomplete ball, and that's going to be another turnover on downs here for the St. Joe's Goats.
It's an incomplete pass. The ball will be placed at the 5-yard line, 1st and 10, Eau Claire.
Excellent job there by number 21. That is Willie McCaleb, the defensive back. Big time play to not let that ball get batted into the hands of the receiver and instead knocked it straight into the ground. And that's how the Axemen will take back over. 2 drives for the St. Joseph's Goats. And now 2 3-and-outs, or 4-and-outs, I should say. So that means the Axemen are going to get it back at the 5, and this has not been their strong point when they've been backed up this far, back close towards their end zone. However, all they need is a big-time pass for about maybe 10 or so yards, and they're back in business. Skarmus in the backfield with Malik Gillard. Sends Bo Butler Jr. in motion. Steps back, he's got a rush going, fires that deep. He's got Bo Butler Jr. who came across from the middle of the field for that. And with the flag down on the play too, big time grab though by Butler Jr. who came from where he was in the middle of the field all the way.
Defense, that penalty is declined. The result of the play is a 1st down.
So even with the defensive penalty, there is going to be a 1st down at around the 20-yard line. Big time play for the Axemen, and that's exactly what I was talking about. All it needs is one play here in the Arena League. One play and you can change your fortunes. Malik Gillard, 1 man out right, that's Skarmus. Takes the snap. Skarmus blocking, fires that one deep. He's got a man, that's Murray, but that was behind him. He had Murray there for a second, but Gillard just could not get the right wind up in there, and that's going to land incomplete on the opposite side of where Murray was. Or at least where Murray was looking or expecting the ball to be. So that'll bring up 2nd down. And after such a big play like that, kind of felt like the hype was coming in here for the Axemen, but kind of cooled off with that one. So Gillard. Toss play, that's Murray. Murray's got some room. He's gonna do a little bit of action on that far left side, and he got somewhere around that 6-yard, after a 6-yard gain. He'll be around the St. Joseph's side of the field at the 24-yard line. Big time play for Joshua Murray to get the Axemen back into St. Joseph's territory, but that's gonna bring up 3rd down now. With 1:30 to go here in the 1st quarter, Axemen wanting to be the ones to score first and really set this game off right. A lot of back and forth on the defense. Flag on the play.
There is no foul on the play for delay of game. We did not have the chain set. 3rd down.
It's going to bring up 3rd down. The chains were not set, so there's no delay of game on either side of the ball, specifically on the offensive side of the ball. But now with the chain set, Axemen set back up. Gillard empty. Takes the snap, fires that one. Bo Butler Jr. couldn't catch that one. A little too high for him, and he got lit up on the end there. So that'll bring up 4th down after that one landed incomplete. Just a little bit too much sauce on that for Gillard. Needs to get that a little bit down a bit with Bo Butler Jr. And you can tell that he's a little bit rusty after having about 2 games off with that knee injury. Gillard, he's got under pressure. He's got to fire that. That's going to be incomplete. Nearly sacked on the play, and there's a little bit of tussling towards that St. Joseph side of the field. There's going to be a penalty down, pushing and shoving. Coaches having to separate, and refs getting in there as well too. Doing a great job of keeping both sides on their opposite ends. So that might come back to bite the Axemen if that penalty is going to be on them. A lot of pushing and shoving towards the end there, and I mean, it was a little bit hot and muggy out today, and obviously it's carried back into the stadium here.
The result of the play is a turnover on downs. After the play was over, on sportsmanlike conduct, St. Joseph number 8, his first of the game. Unsportsmanlike conduct foul. Eau Claire, number 1, his first of the game. Those fouls will offset. First and 10, St. Joe.
And I think that was the right call right there, especially with the fact that both of them both of them really started it, and there's not really one clear player that was necessarily the aggravator in that one. Both of them hot-headed, just doing a great job of keeping both of those teams away from each other, because you know these kinds of tussles can get these kinds of guys can get really tussly out there, and you just got to keep them separated when it comes to getting too hot-headed like that. So great job by the refs on that end with 30 seconds to go here in the first quarter. Trujillo back on offense, fires that one. He's got a man that's going to be at the 5. Big time grab and a big time throw there by Trujillo, trying to get his team on the board before this first quarter ends with 15 seconds to go here. Excellent job there by Dom Marshall. He's been making some big plays on this one to start off the game. And with only 4 seconds to go here, and no time to get another play off, St. Joe's
that is the end
right in striking distance at the first
timeout
for the 3rd time in this game at around the 4-yard line. So we'll get back to you on some more Arena League action right after this.
What if you could talk directly to your favorite Arena League player? Welcome to VIP Ballers, a social media platform where you can get direct access to your favorite player, DM them, get training for your young athlete, mentorship, personalized videos, and exclusive content. All you need to do is head to VIPballers.com, sign up, and follow your favorite TAL player.
The neighbors just stopped by. Can you throw these on the grill?
Garage beef? Huh. 5 more minutes.
All beef hot dogs. Filled with beer.
Honey, where are the gosh dang dogs?
5 more minutes.
Garage beef from Garage Beer.
What'd you do to these dogs?
Almost done.
Come on, man. Let's get it.
And welcome back to another interesting game here between the Eau Claire Axemen and the St. Joseph's Goats. Taking a look at some of the crowd that we have here tonight, and we got a pretty packed house. A lot of fans out here wearing some of that Eau Claire Axemen merch, as well as some players and some fans over on that far side, right on that near court side. I would say court side, but it's more like a field side. Some of the VIP fans, and now 0-0 here in the second quarter with 15 minutes to go. Angelo Trujillo fires that one to the far right side, seeing if they can get in for a touchdown, and he's going to be stopped. Ryan Martinez almost snakes his way in, but is stopped close towards that 2-yard line, maybe closer towards the 3. That's a big play there by Martinez, who has been just kind of that jolt of lightning for them this season. Just the spark plug that they need to really find whenever they need something for maybe 5 to 10 yards. He's usually that guy to go, short yardage situations. Trujillo Sends a man in motion. It's gonna be a handoff to him, and it's gonna get stopped down there. He's gonna try and throw it at the end, but got wrapped up, and that's another great job there by the Axemen defense. Malik Wilson had a shot towards getting that touchdown, but got absolutely wrapped up by Cinque Grant again. Just all over the field has Grant been. And I mean, he broke in there, as well as number 21, that would be Willie McCaleb, also got in there as well too. Both of them, I've been calling their names a lot so far tonight. Trujillo over the middle, incomplete! Incomplete, an excellent job there. Again by McCaleb. And that's gonna bring up a 4th down here from the 5. 3 quick passes, not amounting to much here for the St. Joseph's Goats. In fact, they are right around where they left off before we went to break, and that was 1st down. So now on 4th down, Trujillo with a man to his right, that's Wilson. He's gonna fire that up high, and it's incomplete! Incomplete, knocked down. Ray Watson on that one. Threw that quick jump ball to Trujillo, but Watson was not having any of it, and Marshall's that guy they throw that ball up to. He's a big guy that can really get up in there, but what a jump by Watson to just get up and get his mid in and knock it clean. So now, another time, Axemen, their 3rd drive from within their own 5-yard line after their defense holds strong again at the goal to go position. So now, from their own 5, Gillard takes a snap, looking to throw, fires that one deep. He's got a man, that's Murray. Knocked down, incomplete, the ball didn't make it to him. Murray tried turning around for that one, but he had already gone too far as that one landed somewhere around the 20-yard line. So that'll bring up 2nd down and 10 to go here with 12:33 left to go in the 2nd quarter. And Gaylord has had him up and down season for the most part. He's been able to really find his stride throughout the middle of the season, but then having an injury that cost him the last couple of games has kind of made him a bit rusty. Fires that one over. Butler Jr. really took a hit. Wow. He got lit up. And so that one's gonna be incomplete right there. He had his man for a second in Bo Butler Jr., but instead that's gonna fall right to the ground, and wow, well, really went up into the crowd there, but an excellent job there by number 8 to really get in and knock that one clean. 3rd down. Fires that, knocked down, incomplete. What a read. Excellent job there by Joko Willis to knock that one back.
To surrender, the ball will be placed at the 15-yard line. 1st and 10, St. Joe.
So on 4th down, that's going to mean the Axemen are going to give this one back, as they're not going to want to go for it on 4th down and 10 to go from their own 5-yard line. So they'll give it back to the St. Joe's Goats at around the 15-yard line. And just another 3 and out for the Axemen. Being backed up that far, it's one of the harder places to be able to come back from, especially with you being in such close quarters back there. It's really hard to work with, and Axemen have been struggling with that so far this game, even though their defense has been doing great to quell that St. Joseph's Goat storm. So now Trujillo with the pressure on. He's got a man, that's gonna be incomplete. I mean, that was about as perfect as a pass you could have gotten to Ryan Martinez. Just had him right up the seam, right in between 2 Axemen defenders, and it just hit his hands and dropped right to the ground. Seemed to almost lose it in the lights, but he had that right in his breadbasket. You got to come down with that, especially in this point of the game here with 10:50 to go in the 2nd quarter, and your chance to break this tie of 0-0. So now Trujillo takes a step. He's got pressure, fires that one to the far right side. Big time game for Ryan Martinez, who dropped that one. Got some extra yards there. It's gonna bring up 3rd down. makes up a little bit for that drop pass. As now it's going to be a 3rd down and manageable for the St. Joseph's team. Trujillo's working fast. 2 men in motion. And he's got a free runner at him. And he's going to get a big time catch out of his player. Dom Marshall again. Multiple flags down on the field. St. Joe's indicating that they think it's on Axemen. But all in all, what a throw and what a catch to Marshall, who just outstretches and is able to snag that in. Put that right on the money for the big-time wide receiver who's played excellent so far this season for the Goats. I mean, just taking a look at what he's been able to do.
There are 2 fouls on the play, both on the defense. Offside. Defense, number 89, that penalty is declined. Pass interference. Defense, that penalty is declined. The result of the play, 1st down.
So you heard it there. Both penalties declined by the defense, and so Dom Marshall gets to add that one to his already big-time amount of stats right now. 25 receptions from 251 yards, 6 touchdowns on the season. Just an excellent job by him.
The pass interference was on number 8.
So both of those penalties declined. It's going to bring up a 1st down here around the 10-ish yard line. Trujillo fires that one. Boo Smith, he's got it past the 5, close towards that 4, maybe the 3-yard line. So back in the 5-yard line we go for the St. Joseph's Goats. 2nd down here. This is not a 2nd down and goal to go situation, as they can still pick up that 1st down around the 1-yard line. Trujillo with a man to his left, that's Wilson. Wilson gets that toss. He's gonna get backed up in that backfield, but he's gonna be able to somehow get his way into the end zone for the touchdown. I mean, Wilson had to reverse field to be able to get in there. Touchdown, Goats. The 1st for either team this game. And Wilson got stacked up there by Murphy, but somehow was able to push off and be able to get inside where he had a couple of blockers for a touchdown. So now, 2-point conversion is good for Boo Smith. Found his guy, Boo Smith, right in the corner, or right in a window, and got him there, and that's gonna bring a 7-0, make it a 7-0 score. 9:27 to go here in the 2nd quarter. And so far, just an excellent job by St. Joseph's on offense. Even though they haven't been able to finish out, they were able to there with a big-time drive that ended with a Wilson touchdown, reversing all the way in for a score. Still very early on in this one, and honestly surprising that we had to wait till this long to get a score. But these 2 teams have been very adamant about keeping it up on the defensive end, especially keeping up defensive pressure, and especially the Axemen this game on that in their secondary have been phenomenal, except for the end there. So now to throw off, it's going to be returnable here for Bo Butler Jr., but it's going to bounce out of bounds. Kind of waited a bit for that one to see if that was going to make it all the way,
that is
and
a
it did.
touchback. The ball will be placed at the 5-yard line.
And because of where that bounced out, it's going to be placed at the 5-yard line, so that's where the Axemen will start off again, and again, they're backed up within that 5-yard line. Just a great job on that throw there by Ja'Kalen Jackson, who had that interception earlier in the game. Kind of pinpointed that one right in the corner, bounced it out of bounds right where one of the more dangerous returners in Bo Butler Jr. couldn't get over to it. So now, Malik Gillard, man to his left. Shotgun, sends a man in motion, that's Murray. Takes the snap, fires that one, he's got Murray for a second, and that's too low. Bounced toward his ankles, and that's gonna be incomplete. He had a man right in his face, pressured all the way through. And that's gonna be incomplete, 2nd down and 10 there with 9:04 to go. Left to go in this 2nd quarter. 7-0 for the Goats. So Gaylord, empty, shotgun. He's gonna pass that one to Bo Butler Jr., who's gonna skate ahead. Gets close towards that 10-yard line. They might have given it to him, then they will. So it's gonna bring up a 3rd down and manageable and gives them a lot more breathing room than they had before. And that opens up this playbook for the offense, whether they wanted to do a screen play or potentially do another touch pass, because that one worked perfectly to Bo Butler Jr. They've been trying to get it to him all game long, and they just haven't been able to find that connection just yet. So Gaylord trying to get the ball going early. Skarmas also back there with him, fires that one. He's got Murray, he's gonna toss past that one. Bo Butler Jr.'s on the loose. Touchdown, Axemen. What a play. I mean, that touch pass backwards from Joshua Murray just opened up Bo Butler Jr., and he was able to take that all the way. This one for the Axemen. I mean, what a play. Heck of a way to get the ball here. And that will be Butler's first touchdown of the game. Not only with some great blocking ahead, but also just the awareness of Joshua Murray to just pass that behind him and make sure it was behind him last time with the Goats, where that one got overturned. So now, going back to that point, Gillard, that's going to be a penalty on the flag. A little dance there at the end for that Axemen there. Brian Sandifer in the vicinity.
Defense, number the end zone, the ball replaced at the 2-yard line. Eau Claire can still go run the ball from the 2 5 to 5.
Axemen are taking it at the 5. After that penalty, that's going to set them up even closer than where they were before. Tried to get that one to Sandifer. Looked like they had him for a second, but he got turned around on a pass interference call there and almost got lost in the lights. So now the Axemen trying to get this one going here, as they don't have a lot of time to go with only 7:40 left in this second quarter. Trying to get this extra point on the board. Got about 3 players behind them. And now they all move out. Gillard fires that one. It's going to be tipped up in the air, and it's going to be incomplete. And there was also a penalty thrown on that one as well, too.
Holding, offense, number 94. That penalty is declined. The result of the point after is no good.
So it's going to be no good after that one fell incomplete. After a holding penalty was also added to it. Could have also closed it out even if he did catch it. So it's going to stay at 7-6 for now with 7:23 to go in this second quarter. Axemen just get on the board after one of the craziest plays I've seen, especially the hook and ladder drill that I don't normally see. You don't normally see in a lot of football games, but especially with this one, and especially with how important it is to the Axemen tonight, and as well as the St. Joseph Ghosts tonight. We've already seen 2 hook and ladder plays. One that got overturned, that last one that went for the touchdown for the Axemen. Just an excellent job there. As take a look at the mascot, who has been with us all season long, helping out with fans and being able to energize the crowd whenever we have a halftime show. Just an excellent job by them, as well as the dancers, just being out there really pumping up the team spirit, really helping out with the crowd spirit as well too. So now with the score being 6-7, Axemen down by 1 to the St. Joseph's Goats. There's about 7:23 left to go in the second quarter. Axemen will throw this one off after their conversion was not successful. is they're trying to get enough players out there as well too. That's why we have a slight stoppage in play. Not enough players out there on the kick, or on the throw off, I should say. So now, sitting back to throw this one. Returnable. It's gonna be Boo Smith up ahead. He's got a bit of blockers. He waited a bit for all that to develop, and he's gonna be able to burst towards that left side. He's still on his feet, but he's gonna be out of bounds down towards that 25-yard line. Stop right on the dot. Out of bounds after he got pushed into that banister on that left side, and that's where the St. Joseph's Goats will take over. And wasn't necessarily the best of throws there for the Axemen, as that kind of set up Boo Smith a bit to really return that, and especially credit to Boo Smith's patience, because he really let the blocking set up before he actually went full speed ahead, and the way he's able to change speed on a dime is insane. Fires that one is Trujillo, caught for about a 5-yard gain on that side. That's Ryan Martinez. And the Goats are moving quick so far. They haven't really been talking as much for the huddles, just kind of know what they're gonna be going out there with. Trujillo over the middle again. This time it's gonna be Dom Marshall. He's gonna get stopped almost immediately though. Maybe a gain of about 2 or 3. It's gonna bring up 3rd down now again for the Goats. Goats have a 37% 3rd down percentage for conversions on the season. Takes a snap, Trujillo. Got a man for a second, he does! Turnaround grab, touchdown, St. Joe's Goats. A.D. Ely. First time I've been able to call him today, and he's been able to turn around for a big-time score there. I mean, so close to not being able to catch that, but he just grabbed that one on a turnaround and a big-time score after the Axemen had gone right down the field and scored one of their own. Answering that one, Trujillo fires that for the extra point, and it is caught for the conversion by Boo Smith. So that's gonna make it a 14-6 game with 6:04 left to go here in this second quarter. Big time play to A.D. Ely, and especially just the way he's been able to turn his body to be able to manage to grab that ball. Just was an excellent job, and now the Axemen have another bit of a play on their hands here with a 6:04 left in the second quarter, down 8. They had a hook and ladder play to score their last one. Let's see if they have anything else in that book of tricks for Jim Britton, as well as head offensive coordinator Harrison Samoris. Back turn, this one is going to be Bo Butler Jr. He's done one already this year. That one's gonna bounce right on the dot. He's gonna have to return this one. He's all the way in his end zone. He's gotta get out of there. He's gonna get stopped at the 1, but he's still moving up ahead. He's gonna get down to the 5 though. Another good throw there for the Goats. Pinned them back again. And I mean, Bo Butler Jr. was just lucky to just get out of that end zone and not give them a safety, if not a fumble in the back of the end zone. Just a great job by him to be able to move up, and not even that many blockers for him as well too. He was just really shifty and really able to keep his legs churning ahead. So with 5:53 to go, first down and 10 at the 5-yard line. Axemen take over deep in their own territory. Gillard, shotgun, takes the snap, fires that one. That one got knocked down. And that's Amir Anderson that got a hand up on that one. We see head coach Jim Britton throwing that ball back. And it looked like they had Bo Butler for about a second there. But with Anderson coming into frame, he was able to just get a big hand up and knock that one clean to the ground. Incomplete. So now, Gillard, shotgun with no one around him. Sends a man in motion. Hands that one off at Butler Jr., and he's gonna get stuffed up and lose his helmet there. On what was a failed end around play, almost had him for a second, but just got stuffed up, and the blocking just was not there. Excellent job by the Goats to sniff that one out, as a couple of hits there, especially with number 17 getting in on that one. It's Jay Petrie. So now Axemen, third down and even longer than where they were before. Third down and about 14 to go. 4:35 left to go in the second quarter, and timeout Axemen.
Timeout. Eau Claire, their first. 30 seconds.
So they're going to call their first timeout here. Still 4 minutes left in this second quarter. And the Axemen are going to have to really try and find something to dial up here, as they're trying to match that score after giving up another quick one to the St. Joseph Goats. And Axemen this year have not been very good on the third down conversions, at least not in the last few games. However, on the official stat board, it says a 58% third down rate, or 48% third down rate, I should say. Still not nearly as efficient as they'd like to be, but that also has to do with the fact that they have been more of a passing team. They aren't much of a rushing team. Some of the other teams that are better rushers out there have a higher third down percentage, and really helps open up the game a bit more. But the Axemen, who has their highest player as only about 80 yards rushing, and that's actually Joshua Murray, who's been in and out as quarterback, in and out as running back, and in and out as wide receiver, all over the place for this Axemen team. He's kind of a do-it-all type of player, and one of the more versatile players out there on the field for this Axemen squad. Someone you can kind of count on, and someone who had that last grab. Gillard looks for Joshua Murray that time. He got the catch! Big time catch! Past the 10! Flipped the field, did the Axemen! And what a play by Joshua Murray! Mr. Do-It-All! And I mean, that couldn't have been better thrown by Malik Gaillard, who has had a bit of an accuracy issue, had a hand in the face on that one, and still was able to get it to his man downfield. What a throw and what a catch there. The connections seems to be online now with this Axemen squad as they set up at the 10-yard line. Gaillard, empty, looks to throw, fires that over the middle, has his man for a second. Murray could not hold on to that, and it's going to land incomplete. Second down and goal to go here now, with 3:35 left in the second quarter, and had his man there, Joshua Murray, for a second. Wanted to reward him for that last catch, get him a touchdown here, but just could not hang on as it hit him in the hands. But an excellent job by the defensive back to get in there and rip that one free too as well. So Gaillard with Skarmas to his left. Skarmas a tight end running back. Throws that one, has a man, that's Murray! Did he get that catch? He did! Looking for whether it was a touchdown or not, and it looks like it is. Touchdown Axemen, and that one is going to get them back on the board. What a throw to Joshua Murray, who outstretched, dove, and was able to come down with that one. And that was all Murray that drive. After a big-time catch that set up them at the 10-yard line, they were able to find Joshua Murray for a sliding catch. And that one's going to make this a closer score here now as Gaillard takes the snap, looks to fire, has a man there, knocked down, incomplete. So with 2:48 left to go in this one, it's going to get even closer here for the Eau Claire Axemen, as this is going to be a 14-12 game. Goats still on top on this one. However, Axemen aren't going away yet. An excellent throw for a touchdown, and the Axemen players all just wanting to talk it over there on the offense, especially just to make sure that everyone is on the same page. Axemen cut this lead down to just 2 after being down 8. So now, after what was a 0-0 game for about most of the first quarter, all the way into the second quarter, if not most of the second quarter, Axemen And St. Joseph's Ghosts had rattled off 4 straight drives with 4 straight scores, or 2 straight drives for each, 2 straight scores for each. And with both having, whether it's implications for the postseason or just getting your first win of the season, as that one's gonna hit the banister and fall straight to the ground. So that means the ball's gonna go around the 25-yard line automatically.
Overhead structure. The ball will be placed at the 25-yard line. 1st and 10, St. Joe.
And anytime it hits the ceiling, anytime it hits that divider up there, it's immediately straight at the 25-yard line. So great starting field position there for the St. Joe's Goats. They've really had a lot of great starting field position there a lot of this game for the most part. And unfortunately for the Axemen, after a great score, just following it up with that is not where they wanted to go. So now, with the defense out there set up, Angelo Trujillo looking to answer back. Sends a man in motion, that's Dom Marshall. He's got a blocker back there, he's firing that deep. Jump ball, who came down with it? It's intercepted. Axemen have it, it's returnable. He's getting Cinque Grant past the 20. What a play by Grant, who eyeballed that and skyballed it and grabbed the, before it could ever get close to the St. Joe's Goats player, Dom Marshall. Excellent job there by Cinque Grant as he got another interception on the season. I mean, Dom Marshall almost had that one for a touchdown, but Cinque Grant just immediately locked arms with that ball and just ripped it clean. I thought Dom Marshall had a pretty touchdown there at the end, but no. Axemen come away with that turnover, and just like that, the defense comes up strong again for this Lumberjack squad. So Axemen now back out on offense, trying to take the lead here before halftime with 2:20 to go left in the second quarter. Gillard, under pressure, fires that one. That's way deep, no one out that way. A couple of players thought it was coming their direction, lost it in the light there, but falls close towards that 5-yard line. No one out that way, so with 2 minutes left to go here,
this is
Axemen down 14 to 12.
Timeout. Under 2 minutes.
We're going to send this one to the break here on the Arena League. Welcome back to more Arena League football here in the beautiful Sonanteg Event Center. Eau Claire Axemen down 12-14 to the St. Joe's Goats with 2 minutes to go in the second quarter. However, Axemen are marching here at the 20-yard line of St. Joe's. Gillard takes the snap, fires that one deep. He's got a man. That's Bo Butler. He's got him for a touchdown. Touchdown, Bo Butler Jr. He got held up for a second, but he was not going to be stopped. Touchdown number 1 with his second touchdown. So the Axemen take their first lead of the game, 18-14 with an extra point pending. Just an excellent throw to where he knows that Bo Butler can go get it. And Butler just eyeballing and tracking that ball down, coming up with a big time score. Malik Gillard takes the snap, fires that one over the middle, can't get his man. Incomplete ball on that one, no flags down, so Axemen, despite the extra point not converting, it's gonna be an 18-14 lead over the St. Joe's Goats coming out of that 2-minute warning. What a throw by Malik Gillard. And after a really rusty first quarter that saw him underthrowing some passes, overthrowing some other passes, and throwing a straight interception to right away to one of the St. Joe's Goats, makes up for it with one of the better plays that I've seen from him tonight. I mean, what a throw downfield to Bo Butler Jr. And Butler got stopped for a second, but was able to keep going through. Just an excellent job to keep fighting. And there's been hand fighting by both these teams all game long, and it's gonna be a throw off that bounces, returnable now. Boo Smith, he can return this one far, but great job wrapping up and tackling him, stopping him just shy of that 16, maybe 17-yard line. Tyrick Mann, number 36. Just a grown man's tackle on that one. So now, at around the, well, they'll mark it closer towards that 18-yard line now. It's gonna be a first down, and with 1:48 to go here, the St. Joe's Goats are looking to hopefully answer this. Down 4 right now. Trujillo gets it to his man, that's Ryan Martinez, for about a 5-yard gain. Marks him closer towards that 23-yard line. And they're moving quick right here. Shotgun, he's got a man out front blocking. Big pickup, that's Ely. Ely can get ahead. Tackle it around the 15-yard line, still moving quick. 1:35 to go in the second quarter for halftime. Trujillo. Shotgun, he's got a man out right, that's Wilson. Two guys right are Martinez and Dom Marshall. Marshall's gonna get the ball there. Gets a little bit ahead, gets stopped for maybe a yard or two. 1:09 to go. Axemen just making sure nothing gets behind them right now. 1 minute to go before the second quarter. And a timeout called by MJ Johnson, the defensive coordinator for the Axemen.
Their second, 30 seconds.
So they'll take a 30-second timeout there. They just wanted to slow down that pace as the St. Joe's Ghosts were moving at a very quick one down that field, and they were kind of getting anything they want until that last play where Dom Marshall only got about a yard on that one. I felt that was the best time to be taking a timeout as well there. So the Goats, after leading almost this entire game, leading since the second quarter of this game, have now given it back to the Eau Claire Axemen, who are now up 18-14. And it was a 0-0 game all the way up until midway point of that second quarter. And then St. Joe's scored, and then the Axemen answered, and then St. Joe's scored again, and then the Axemen answered again. And now we are here with the Axemen up 18-14 and less than a minute to go before halftime. So, Trujillo, Wilson outright. He's got under pressure. He's gonna get brought down. Ball came out. I think they're going to call that a fumble and not an incomplete ball. Trujillo is just trying to throw the ball away. And that's a big-time sack for the Axemen.
Fumble out of bounds.
Dorr and others on the stop there, and that's a big-time timber for the Axemen. And Dorr, first one there, just couldn't bring him down all the way, but it didn't matter because he threw that behind him, and luckily for Trujillo, that bounced out of bounds, so he'll be brought down at around that 18-yard line as he takes the snap here. Shotgun, fires that one, has Boo Smith on that left side. Boo Smith got around Richie Murphy, and they're gonna say that he got up almost back to the original line. But either way, he didn't get all the way there, so it's still 4th down and around that 15-yard line. 4th and 15 to go here. Or 4th and down and 10 to go, I should say, not 4th and goal yet. 39 seconds to go and another timeout taken here for the St. Joe's Goats.
St. Joe, their first, 30 seconds.
Third timeout used in the last minute here, and first one for the St. Joe's Goats. So after getting backed up beyond into Axemen territory, or beyond Axemen territory and into their own territory, St. Joe's was able to answer back with a big-time play with Boo Smith, who got them back close towards where they had started initially, which was around that 13-ish yard line. But the Axemen, that defensive play may have really helped set them up for this one, and if they can force another turnover here on downs, they could potentially get the ball back and get that offense going and see what that could mean for them here. They were able to get another score on the board. So now here is Trujillo with Wilson out to his right. Sends Martinez in motion. Takes the snap, flags down. And it looks like someone may have jumped off sides. St. Joe's saying it's on the Axemen. But let's hear it from the refs.
Offside. Defense, number 36, causing the offense to move. 5-yard penalty, 4th down.
So they get that 5 yards closer. Makes it more of a 4th down and 8 from there, as they were backed up beyond the line of scrimmage that they had initially started at. But they'll mark it, yeah, around that 4th down and 8 range. So now Trujillo sends a man in motion. He's going to take the snap. Back to run, fires that one. That's picked off again! That's picked off again, and it's a big-time play for the Axemen once more. Ray Watson on the grab. And he just stepped right in front of the receiver on that one. Excellent job for Ray Watson. Just waited patiently and skied that one over Martinez. So with only 33 seconds to go here, and the Axemen with the ball going into this break, spirits are high here in Sonnentag Center as the Axemen lead 18-14. Now with the ball and now marching. They still have to be careful though. That's still plenty of time. St. Joe's still has 2 timeouts left, and if the Axemen are a little bit unruly with that ball, could lead to a turnover, and who knows what happens inside that 10-yard line. So now, Gallard, man in motion, looks, fires that one. He's got Joshua Murray downfield, almost has a man, but it's flags on the play. And Joshua Murray's talking him stuff, and he's gonna say that's on the St. Joe's Goats, and I'm inclined to believe him on that one with all that hand fighting.
Pass interference, number 8. 10-yard penalty, automatic 1st down.
And a shove on that play is gonna be an pass interference. It's gonna bring it all the way up. And that's a big time play there for the Axemen on what was basically just a jump ball. So some extra yards there on the play, and that's going to get them away from that 5-yard line and give them more space to work. It's only 27 seconds here to go in the second quarter. Axemen. That one's deep. That one's picked off. And that one's almost returnable. The ball came out for a second there, but they're going to say he was down by contact. So that ball by Malik Gillard got picked off there. An excellent job by number 11 on that one. Skyball that one and be able to come down with it. That's Ja'Kalen Jackson with his second interception of the day. And I mean, he is just
rolling
a
on the field
hawk
is an
for the ball.
interception by St. Joe. 1st and 10.
But does not set up the St. Joseph's Goats team in a great position, as they are going to be inside their own 5 now after the Axemen tried to take a shot downfield. Couldn't get that one out there, and Gillard comes up with another interception thrown on his night. 2 interceptions, both to Ja'Kalen Jackson, actually. So now we'll see if the Axemen defense is able to clamp down on this St. Joe's Goats offense. Trujillo takes the snap, fires that one short. It's Dom Marshall. He's going to get stopped around that 10-yard line, maybe get a little bit more, closer to the 11-yard line with 12 seconds to go here in the second quarter. Going to bring up 2nd down. Still plenty of time to go. And 2 timeouts for the Goats. Fires that one over the middle. That one's going to be brought for a big gain close towards that 23-yard line. And some talking after the fact. 7 seconds to go here. And they're just been and the St. Joe's Goats have been taking just chunk plays out of this Eau Claire Axemen defense. So now, Trujillo fires that one deep. That one, he's got a man! And that's gonna be incomplete. Looking for Dom Marshall on the play. And with 1 second to go, St. Joe's are gonna have a chance to be able to fire this one for almost a Hail Mary, as that one was practically a Hail Mary. Dom Marshall just outstretched going for that ball and could not come up with it. Excellent job by both Richie Murphy and Grant on that side. Knocked that one incomplete. Or Ray Watson, I should say, on that side. Timeout, Axemen. Called that final
Minnesota.
one with 1 second to go
Timeout,
here
Eau Claire. Their
in the
3rd
second
and
quarter
final.
before they
30
took that
seconds.
snap. So they'll have a little bit more time to think this one over. And every one of these plays counts, especially right now, with it being such a close game, and St. Joe's eyeing a playoff spot, and the Axemen trying to get their very first win of the season, especially here at home. Very important storyline so far, especially for a crowd out here that's been hooting and hollering for their hometown team. And just looking at what they could potentially do out there, specifically for this last play, there's not going to be a lot they can do. Maybe a trick play for a hook and ladder. We've seen two of them this game, one from either team. Wouldn't count it out necessarily, but Axemen playing more of a prevent defense. They got 4 back, making sure nothing gets behind them. Sending 3 rushers up ahead. And the St. Joe's Goats may have stepped outsides
False
on
start.
that one.
Offense, number 1, 5-yard penalty, 2nd down.
And they did. So that's going to back them up even further than where they were. A little bit of movement in that middle part of the line and backs them up even further for this final 1-second play to finish off this second quarter. Trujillo, shotgun, trying to find someone deep. He's under pressure, loads up, that one's deep, has a man for a second. It's gonna be knocked down, incomplete. So that will be how we finish off this second quarter. Some dramatics here With only 1 second to go, the Axemen knocked down that ball, and it's going to be incomplete with it being 18-14 to end this first half. The Axemen here at home trying to get that very first win of the season, and they've got a 4-point lead going into halftime with the potential to get that first one here with all these fans out front as they're high-fiving and hooting and hollering. Axemen, St. Joe's tied up all the way through the first quarter up until the start of the second quarter, and now it has become an 18-14 game before going into break. We got more action for you on the Arena League after this.
What if you could talk directly to your favorite Arena League player? Welcome to VIP Ballers, a social media platform where you can get direct access to your favorite player, DM them, get training for your young athlete, mentorship, personalized videos, and exclusive content. All you need to do is head to VIPballers.com, sign up, and follow your favorite TAL player.
Garage beer saved my life. It's 30 years ago today.
A lot of predators in this jungle.
Almost done.
Come on, man. Let's get it.
Welcome back here to the Sonanteg Center as we get a good look at our Axemen mascot. But just recapping where we were, Axemen up 18-14 over the St. Joe Goats. It's been an up and down game for both of these teams. It started off as a 0-0-1 all the way up until the midpoint of the second quarter, and that's when all the scoring happened. Axemen didn't get that first one on the board, but the St. Joe Goats did. Trujillo has been really phenomenal with getting the ball out to the players, but a lot of the receiving has not been able to, a lot of the receivers have not been able to hold on to that football, and it's created some incompletions that really should have been caught for maybe some first downs, maybe some touchdowns. But the Axemen, the defense has been the story for this game. Turnover after turnover. Trujillo already 2 interceptions in the game, but the same can be said for the Axemen as well too. Just not that much going for that squad as they were able to really get into it. The interceptions have been really great for Cinque Grant as well as other player for the St. Joe Goats. But both of these teams have been really adamant out there about trying to get that last win of the season here, especially for the St. Joe Goats to be able to get another win going into the playoffs, and the Axemen trying to get another win, trying to get their very first win of the season, especially here at the Sonanteg Center. We'll have more for you right after this break. Welcome back to more Arena League football here at the Sontag Center. Taking a look at one of our Axemen mascots out there on the field. But first, we're going to take a look at some highlights from this half. Axemen up 18-14 over the St. Joe Goats, as some big-time plays had happened in the first half. However, none of it amounted to any scoring. First quarter, it was 0-0 almost all the way through to the midpoint of that second quarter. We had some big-time grabs to start off the game, but nothing that was really able to lead to a score, as both teams had gotten within the 5-yard line, even closer. And as you saw there, just some heated moments between the two to start off the game, as neither offense was really able to get much started. But it all started there with Wilson, who almost got stacked up in the backfield, but was able to bowl ahead and get his first touchdown, as well as the first touchdown of the game, and then answered immediately afterwards right here by Bo Butler Jr., who's able to just scamper in after getting that hook and ladder pass. And that was the second hook and ladder pass that happened in this game too, as that other one got overturned as it was a forward pass, as that throw was also a forward pass, but it was for a touchdown, and that was for Ely's first touchdown of the game. He's only had his name called about twice so far this game, but has been able to really find his spots here to really set it up, as Murray got his first touchdown on that one after a great defensive drive by the Eau Claire Axemen. But then to lead off this one, St. Joe's was able to answer was almost able to answer with another throw deep downfield, but Cinque Grant skied that one up high and was able to bring it down for a big-time interception. That one set up the Axemen to be able to come back into this one and take back the lead. But they needed to get that offense going first. They had stalled out a little bit before. Gallard had thrown that one, though, that came out of the second half, or the second quarter break, the 2-minute break, and led to Butler getting his touchdown that time. And Butler Jr. has been that X factor throughout much of this game. Continues to be that guy downfield, as that one was nearly a fumble backwards, because he had thrown that one away trying to make it an incomplete pass. However, is still dropped for a sack. And then this one to really finish off the first half here, as it was a big-time pick after a big-time drive by St. Joe to get them down to that position in the first place. And that's where we are now, as the Eau Claire Axemen lead the St. Joe Goats 18-14. We'll have more action on the Arena League right after this. And here we are with the Eau Claire Axemen up 18-14 over the St. Joe's Goats. And taking a look at some of the stats here tonight, Axemen have been able to really stack it up on the passing yards for 250 passing yards through the air. And that's been a real big testament to just the offensive abilities of Malik Gallard, who's been started off a little bit on the rougher edge and had to really find his way throughout this game so far. It was a 0-0 to start off, and they had to really find a way to get the momentum back on their side after St. Joe's had gone on a scoring run and made it a 14-6 game. But they were able to come back into this one due to some big-time passes to Joshua Murray, as well as a big-time throw that led to a touchdown to Bo Butler Jr. And Bo Butler Jr. also having 2 touchdowns on the game, as well as most of those receiving yards on the night, especially after a hook and ladder play. But the rushing game for both teams have been a little bit shaky, 30 for the Eau Claire Axemen and only 34 for St. Joe. But the first downs, I think, are a big testament and really reveal just how successful both teams have been. I mean, right now, St. Joe, more turnovers than first downs, and that's not a spot you want to be on. Quite literally, this is one of the worst turnover games for St. Joe that I've seen, and I've seen the last time when the Axemen took on the Goats. Just not where they want to be, especially at halftime here. Axemen, though, 6 first downs, and it's a testament to those big-time throws that I think St. Joe will key in on, especially with how great their secondary has been. But the Axemen have been such an offensive force. It's going to take a lot to really slow down the hype and the motivation that this squad has to be able to come home with their first win of the season. However, the Goats, with Trujillo, 190 passing yards, but a couple of picks as well for him too. However, a couple touchdowns for him as well to match that one. He's been all over the field trying to get his guys going, especially right before playoffs. They kind of seemed like, it felt like they walked into this one thinking that the Axemen were just going to roll over. However, the Axemen have really stepped up and shown that, hey, we're in for the long run with this. We're going to try and fight, even though we know the playoffs aren't really going to be our destiny here. We're going to try and make it a big time show for our fans out there tonight, and we're going to make sure to try and come home with a win, and that seems to be the way that they've been trying to push forward here. So we'll send it back to break here, but we got some more action coming up here on the Arena League Network.
What if you could talk directly to your favorite Arena League player? Welcome to VIP Ballers, a social media platform where you can get direct access to your favorite player, DM them, get training for your young athlete, mentorship, personalized videos, and exclusive content. All you need to do is head to VIPballers.com, sign up, and follow your favorite TAL player.
The neighbors just stopped by. Can you throw these on the grill?
Garage beef? Huh. 5 more minutes.
All beef hot dogs. Filled with beer.
Honey, where are the gosh dang dogs?
5 more minutes.
Garage beef from Garage Beer.
What'd you do to these dogs?
Almost done.
Come on, man. Let's get it.
And we're back at the Sonnentag Event Center here as we have more Arena League football here after halftime. Eau Claire Axemen lead the St. Joe Goats 18-14 in a game that has really been up and down. I mean, we started off with a bit of a barn burner, being at 0-0 for almost all the way until the midpoint of that second quarter, and that's when the scoring started pushing its way through as the Axemen were able to follow up a big-time St. Joe Goats touchdown with a touchdown of their own almost directly after, and then Goats followed that one up with another touchdown, which the Axemen then threw a massive bomb for a touchdown on the other end of the way. So there's been a lot of scoring here so far to start off this one, and I expect some more of it going into the second half, especially with the implications for the playoffs for the St. Joe Goats, as well as the Axemen trying to get that very first win of the season here at home. And especially looking at just how these two teams have played each other, I mean, can't say enough about the job that Bo Butler Jr. has done for the Axemen, just being all over the field, getting somehow behind the defense, especially with these St. Joe Goats secondary that has been all over the field throughout much of this season, and especially with Jay Petrie out there, who's albeit has been one of their better players to have out there on the field. He has kind of led up a few big-time throws, especially to Bo Butler Jr., that looked a little bit preventable on a couple of those ends. However, the Axemen have known that Malik Gaillard can really get them back into a game, and especially throwing that ball. Malik Gaillard having already 930 yards on the season, obviously going to have way over that by the end of tonight. Has been one of the more prolific passers, however, missed these last two games with an injured knee. So the Axemen have had almost a circus of different players trying to come in and fill that quarterback spot, as they didn't have a direct backup quarterback, having even wide receiver Joshua Murray play. But now that he's been back out there, this offense has looked a lot better as Boo Smith tries to return this throw off. He's got a little bit of room up ahead, gets brought down though right at the 10-yard line, and that's where the Goats will start off. Another good throw there on the throw off for the Axemen. That one pinned St. Joe Goats back almost all the way towards that 10-yard line. Did not allow Boo Smith to actually get a run up on it either. So now, in the backfield, Trujillo throws that one far side. That's Dom Marshall for a big catch. Start off this drive here with 14 to go in the third quarter. Brings up a quick second down as they move quickly on this one. Trujillo, he's got pressure. He's gonna go down. No, he threw that one away. Almost went down there. Thomas Lanier gets right up in his face, almost brought him down. Somehow Trujillo had the wherewithal to be able to throw that one away. So it's gonna bring up third down now and short. Third down, fires that one. He's got his man there for a second. That's Marshall. Close to that first down marker. I don't think they're gonna give it to him though. Just short of the line to gain there, so it's gonna bring up fourth down on the throw to Marshall. Fourth and barely a one to go. Trujillo fires it over the middle, flag on the field, but Ely's gonna cut that back up field. He's gonna get within the 10-yard line. We'll see what this penalty is, but
offside. Defense, number 36. That penalty is declined. Result of the play, first down.
So that's gonna be a penalty there for the Axemen. So doesn't matter what happened there, because that's gonna be a big time first down for Ely, who's been all over the place. Now on this one, Marshall gets the catch. He's gonna drive up the field. He's gonna pass the 5, maybe close to the 6. And Dom Marshall's had his name called quite a few times already. 3 of those last 4 throws to him. So now brings up second down. Not goal to go yet. Can still pick up the first down around the 2. Handoff there. Trujillo to Wilson. Wilson just walks that one in. Touchdown. Touchdown, Goats. An easy kind of handoff there to Wilson, who was just lined up beside him, followed his blockers in, and got right in for the touchdown. Almost walked that one in. He's also just so fast out there, it might be moving in slow motion. But that one will put the Goats back on top here as they go for that extra point. Trujillo fires that one, doesn't have a man, hits that back wall, it's gonna be incomplete. So it stands 20-18 here with 13:07 left in the third quarter. A very quick score from the Goats coming out of halftime. And I mean, it felt like a complete different team from how they ended the half to now how they started this. Just a lot more together on that one, and a lot more organized on a couple of those plays than we had seen to end off that second half. It felt like there was a lot of forgotten plays and a lot of just unorganized chaos for a little bit of it, but obviously got it down for that one. We're able to take a 2-point lead here with 13 minutes to go left in the third quarter. Firing that one, returnable for Butler, no. It landed before that 10-yard marker.
Throw off violation. The ball did not land inside the 10-yard line. By rule, the ball will be placed at the 25-yard line. 1st and 10, Eau Claire.
So that's gonna set them up at the 25-yard line there, and anytime it does not pass that 10-yard marker, if it lands before it, it's gonna be at that 25-yard line. Same as if you were to throw it and it got caught in the rafters. It's always gonna be at that 25-yard line. So that's where the Axemen are gonna start here. And in that backfield, Gaylord as well with Skarmus on that left side of him. Tight end running back, Skarmus. So Gaylord sends 2 men in motion. Looks to pass that one, fires it for Butler. Butler fell down. It's gonna be picked off. Big time pick for the Goats, as that one was just a jump ball that had Butler fall down. So just like that, after a big time drive for the St. Joe Goats, an interception thrown right back to him.
1st and 10, St. Joseph.
And that's Darius Lorfils, number 0, getting that one. Just right place, right time. Almost got tripped up by his own teammate there as well too, but great job by him to come down with it. And Butler wanted a flag, but nothing on the field for him. And it looked like just got tripped up on his legs there. So honestly, there wouldn't have been anything called even if he would have continued to pressure to see if he can get a call. Toss to that right side. He's got plenty of space as Wilson. He keeps going past the 20. He's past the 15 down to the 10. What a big time play for Wilson. I mean, he completely looked like he was gonna get stopped after he busted outside that 20-yard line, but just kept his feet going and was able to just turn up the speed. Luckily, he had a couple of players down there for the Axemen to stop him, but that looked like a near touchdown as they're gonna mark him out close towards that 14-yard line. Throwing that one is Trujillo. Got him close to the 3. Can he get in? No. They're gonna hold him around the 3-yard line. Another pass to Ely on that one, and he's gonna get a big snag. That's gonna set them up to 1st and goal. Big snap, big play. Can he cut it in? And it's Wilson, outstretched. Ball came out, but that's gonna be a touchdown for the Goats. He got his big arm overstretching it, and it's gonna be in. Whether it was for Wilson or whether it was for Ely.
Is the runner broke the goal line prior to the ball coming loose. The result of the play is a touchdown.
So that'll stay a touchdown for Wilson, as the ball falling out was after he had crossed the plane. As seen there. So touchdown's going to add to this St. Joe lead. It's going to be not 2 scores yet. However, if the Axemen can hold off on this extra point, it could potentially be just a 1-score lead still. Handoff there, throw to incomplete. What was a near handoff was then knocked away and incomplete for Ryan Martinez. Ryan Martinez came around on that one, was gonna do a trick play, but just got knocked down, incomplete. So it'll stand a 26-18 lead with 11:29 to go in this third quarter. And after a rough interception for the Axemen, the defense then also gives up a touchdown. And just like that, the Goats on their first 2 drives of this third quarter have scored both times. One to take back the lead and one to add a little bit more to it. However, if you're an Axemen fan, don't fret, it's still a 1-score lead out there for you. But for the St. Joe Goats, looking pretty nice with that 8-point lead. An excellent job there for the offense of the Goats. And especially for Trujillo, who's done such a great job this game. That one's returnable. That's Butler Jr. He's got some space. He's got some blocking. What a move! Cuts that one back, but he's not going to get much more after that. It's getting marked down at around the 17-yard line. Almost basically pulled the chair on one of the defenders out there, trying to get some extra yardage. Netted him about a yard or 2, but not much more after that. What a play by Butler Jr. returning that. Just some excellent moves and a nice swipe just to keep the legs churning forward and keep everything moving ahead. That's why he's such a dangerous returner. You never know what he's gonna do with that football. He could easily just reverse field on you if you're not paying attention to where he is. And he's fast enough to be able to then torch you after the fact. So now, Gillard. He's got Skarmas out left to him. Sends a man in motion. Takes the snap. He's under pressure. Down he goes. St. Joe gets to him, and that's big time play there for Darius Lorfils, who came away with an interception earlier in the last drive, or last couple drives. And that time gets a sack. Or I'm sorry, that's Jordan Scruggs getting the sack on that one. That number 8 and number 0 jersey looks very similar out there. So Gillard sends man in motion. Butler Jr. can't get much on that screen play, and he's gonna get stacked up and wrapped up and dropped by Scruggs again. Scruggs, who had a rougher start to this game, has really showed up here for the Goats in this third quarter. Defense just clamping down. And just like that, with being a third down and very long for this Axemen squad, they're gonna need to dial up something big. 9:57 to go in this third quarter. Gillard, under pressure again, looks, sacked again! What a play! Just not enough time for Gillard, and the pressure by the defense gets home to him. That's Scruggs again, I believe.
Has elected to surrender. The ball will be placed.
And the Axemen are going to surrender it. It's not a safety. He was outside of that.
St. Joseph.
He was outside of the plane to break. So it's going to instead be the Axemen giving it back to the Goats, hoping their defense can get another turnover again here. As we take a look at Dorsey Golston III, the head coach of the Goats. And the Axemen, the pressure again, just not getting the accurate blocking that they needed for that one. Just a little bit loose on that zone blocking, and instead leads to a big time sack as Gillard was trying to find anyone out there to get open. Great job by the defensive backs for the Goats. Trujillo fires that across, has Martinez for a small catch. Gain of about 4. It's gonna bring up second down. And Martinez has been having his ups and downs for this game, but he's really locked in as well. So now Trujillo, He's under pressure, fires that one over the middle. That's Boo Smith. Boo Smith tries to get around. That ball's loose. Martinez tries to pick it up. Who's got it? Wrestle for the football. And as of right now, it should stand with the Goats. Ref's trying to get everyone out of the pile, though. But the Axemen are going to come away with this. Wow.
On the field.
Ray Watson.
Recovered by Eau Claire. First down.
Boo Smith coughed up the football, and Ray Watson somehow recovered that. There was a couple of different bodies fighting for it over there. My vantage point was blocked, but it still ends up in the hands of the Axemen, and just an excellent job by Watson to somehow recover that one. I thought that was surely back in the hands of the Goats. And also an excellent job by Murphy there to knock that one clean.
That ruling is under further review.
And so that ruling will be under further review as well, too, as we heard from our referee down on the field. A reminder, our referees out here on the field are Tyler Downs as the referee. Headline judge is Brett Hoofendick. Our line judge is Patrick Mullen. Our back judge, Jeff Hobbs, and sky judge, Lucas Karmas. Doing an excellent job out there on the field. Having to now decipher whether this was an actual fumble recovered by the Axemen or whether it was recovered by the Goats. And I mean, both of these squads have been able to find their way on the defensive end. Axemen coming up with a potential turnover here.
After review, the ruling on the field is upheld. First down, Eau Claire.
And so it stands then for the Axemen. A turnover by Boo Smith. Coughed around. Ryan Martinez had a chance to land on it. However, all in all, it was Ray Watson who actually came up with it. And now the Axemen have the ball in St. Joe territory at around the 19, 20 yard line. Marching on them, first down and 10. Gillard has Skarmas with him in the backfield, sends two men in motion. Ball nearly hits the deck, throws that one deep. He's got a man. Incomplete. Was looking for Brian Sandifer, the tight end on that one. Second down with 8:22 to go left in this third quarter. Had him for a second. Looked like Sandifer actually lost the ball and then just couldn't get his feet back underneath him after that fact. He's a big guy out there, so they try to toss that one up to him, especially whenever they have a chance to, and that felt like the right chance there as he was a one-on-one coverage. So Gillard, Skarma's right in front of him, takes the snap, throws that one. That time, he's gonna get a pass interference on that one. Both Butler Jr. and Bryant Smith were converging. Both got tangled up. And this one looks like it's gonna be a first down there for the Axemen. Especially after some incomplete balls, this one's gonna really help this Axemen team.
Pass interference. Defense number 17. The ball will be placed at the spot of the foul. Automatic first down.
And that's gonna be on Jay Petrie on that other team. It's been one of his issues for the night, has been some pass interference calls as well as a couple of routes that got behind him. He's settled in for a little bit, but now Gillard has been picking on him. So Gillard talking with his offense, trying to set everyone up. Skarma still with him. He's been acting as an extra blocker out front. They haven't really been handing it off to anyone except for some end arounds. Scanning the defense. Gillard sends a man in motion. That's Smith. Steps up, fires that one. That got tipped, almost intercepted. Almost intercepted. I mean, that was almost a pick then for Scruggs, who has been all over the place these last couple of defensive drives for St. Joe. Lead still 26-18 Goats over the Axemen. 7:15 to go here in the third quarter. Axemen trying to get themselves back on track after a penalty set them up closer towards that 12, 13-yard line. Second down and 10 to go. Gillard looking, fires that one. That's going to be incomplete. Could not find his man on that outside edge. Was looking somewhere in the direction of Brian Sandifer. It's another time he's tried getting that one out to Brian Sandifer, but that one just a little bit too far for him to try and grab. Excellent job by the defensive backs on this one as well, too. Not really allowing a direct shot towards that end zone. All these have been having to be almost jump balls, 50-50 balls, and those ones can be a bit risky out here, especially as Gaylord almost gets sacked off the edge, and that's going to be falling incomplete. Petrie tried to go for the pick on that one. That one's going to be, was way too low to the ground for anyone to really go after, but Gaylord could not. I mean, that was almost a free rusher off that edge that came up and nearly got a clean sack on him before that ball was thrown. Excellent job by Gaylord to feel that pressure and just toss that thing away. 5:48 to go here in the third quarter. Now 4th down and 10. Not 4th and goal, 4th and 10. They're still, can still pick up that first down at around the 2-yard line. 10 seconds left to go on this play clock as well, too. They're still trying to set up. Snap by Gaylord. Throws that one. Had Butler Jr. for a second. He turned too far, and that's going to be incomplete. And a turnover on downs for the Axemen. The Goats tightened up on the defense and were able to force another 3 and out. This time, a 4th down and out. It seemed like he had Butler coming back on him, but Butler just didn't come far enough out of that corner. And instead, Gaylord just threw that and it just bounced right off the side of the wall there. So with 5:20 to go, St. Joe takes over with Angelo Trujillo retaking the reins, and he's had himself quite a game so far. Trujillo under pressure, fires that one. Looking for Boo Smith, and that one was way off, but there's a flag on the field. In the territory of a defensive pass interference.
Defense, number 7, 10-yard penalty, automatic, first down.
So that one's gonna be on Richie Murphy back there. It's gonna be an automatic first down to about the 21-yard line. 22-yard line, I should say. And you just cannot be, no matter where that ball is thrown down there, you just cannot be holding on to a player for that long. It's just, once you get past a certain amount of yards, they're gonna be looking at you. Trujillo fires that one, got his man Marshall, gain of about 4 or 5 on the play there. Gonna bring up 2nd down and manageable. Right at that midfield marker. Moving quickly, Trujillo sends a man in motion, takes the snap. Fires that one, got his man, gonna get the first down, maybe a little bit more. That's Ely. Ely again with another short one that turns into a bit more. It's gonna bring up a first down. It's gonna be into Axemen territory at around the 19-yard or 18-yard line. So Trujillo, one man to his right, that's Wilson, takes the snap, scans the field, fires that one. It's gonna be a diving catch made for a short pickup, maybe a pickup of 2. Boo Smith on that one, 2nd down. Ryan Martinez flips sides. He's gonna go. Trujillo looks his direction, fires it towards Marshall though, and that's gonna be a big pickup. And then some pushing and shoving after the fact. Richie Murphy still laying on the ground. Maybe a little bit much on that one for both of these squads, as the tensions are still being felt from that first half. Murphy's up and good though. It's going to be interesting to see what they call this on, because it may have been the retaliation that gets called, but I believe both of them were pushing and shoving, so this could be another penalty on the Axemen, or it could be offset again, but it'll be interesting to see what they call here out on the field. So after what was just maybe a 7 or 8 yard game, brought up 3rd down, there might be some more yards added to this, as Richie Murphy's been all over the field.
There are 2 fouls on the play, 1 on each team. After the play was over, unsportsmanlike conduct foul. Offense number 4, his first of the game. Unsportsmanlike conduct foul, number 7, his first of the game. Those penalties will offset. 3rd down.
So both Dom Marshall and Richie Murphy will both get tagged on some unsportsmanlike penalties, both their first of the game. However, we've had 4 so far this game, 2 on each side. Just showing the tenacity both these teams have and what it means to them to be out there, to be fighting for this win tonight. Axemen trying to take their first win of the game, or first win of the season, I should say, while the Goats try and position themselves further on that leaderboard to try and get a better playoff seeding. Axemen down 8 with 3:57 here in this 3rd quarter. Setting them up, so it's going to be 3rd down and 4-ish. Close towards that 10-yard line. And you can hear the crowd just chanting defense. Growing louder. Trujillo under pressure, fires that one, it's gonna be knocked down, incomplete. Great play there, getting a hand on that was Akeem Peterson, who typically plays tight end, is out there as linebacker, defensive tackle. Excellent job getting his hand up and just, you could tell it barely just knocked that trajectory of the ball, but still lands harmlessly to the ground with 3:27 and counting on this clock here. 4th down and short to go. Trujillo fires that one, dropped. That one's dropped by Ely. That was gonna be a 1st down for sure, but that one right through the hands of Ely, and that will be a turnover on downs there. Richie Murphy celebrating with the team over there. And what was a good setup to pick up a really short 4th down conversion, had Ely for a second, but Ely just was looking upfield, and as soon as you look upfield, that's when you're gonna drop that ball. And he looked upfield, did not see that he had caught the ball all the way through, and that's why he dropped that thing. Gotta keep your eyes on the prize if you're trying to get that 1st down. So now Axemen down 8, just getting back the ball here. They've stalled out on their last few drives. Let's see what they have cooked up this time around. Malik Gillard in that backfield. Fakes the throw, fakes the handoff, throws that one. Butler Jr. doesn't see it, lost it in the lights. And Gillard actually was pushed over. I don't know if that's going to be
foul, roughing the passer. Defense number 11. 15-yard penalty, automatic 1st down.
So that's going to be an automatic 1st down after a roughing the passer penalty there. As you saw, he had thrown that one. He had already had that one out of his hands before he got the lights knocked out of him on a big-time hit by the St. Joe Goats. I believe that was on number 11, too. Ja'Kalen Jackson, who has had a couple of interceptions already in this game. 2:59 to go here in this 3rd quarter. Goats up 26-18 on the Axemen. Gillard. Man in front of him. There's going to be a penalty, though.
Snap infraction. Offense, number 94. 5-yard penalty, 1st down.
2 steps forward, 1 step back, and this one will go for 5 steps back, really. That's going to be a 5-yard penalty on a snapping infraction by Thaddeus Tolliver, the center for the Axemen. 2:42 to go. Still first down. This time 15 though. Sends Butler Jr. in motion around him. Takes the snap. Shotgun, has pressure. Fires that one. Looked for his guy. Almost had Brian Sandifer on that edge. Couldn't come to the thing. Down. 50 to go here in the quarter. You can hear from the crowd. To nail with their team. Hoping that they can get a win, especially with it being the last game here on the season for this Axemen team. 0-7 so far. Can they make it 1-7? They need it here with Gillard. Shotgun snap. Looks to fire. Throws that one. Had Joshua Murray for a second, but a clear push by the defensive back, and that's going to be a pass interference call. The ball was not close enough to really be hand fighting, so that's why it's a clear push towards that edge is going to be a
Pass interference.
penalty all the time.
Defense, number 21, 10 yard.
So an automatic first down in there too. Now had a couple of penalties, so not be found after trying to tighten back up after now allowing a couple of big Axemen in territory around the 20. That's Murray. Gillard fires that sack right way up. That one with one, assuming would be run. Just an easy interception for Jacan. Want back. There's out there. Just like the Goats. Under pressure, fires that one. Great job by Trujillo just to have the awareness to throw that one really else, but and counting to go in this third quarter. Axemen down 26. Couple of plays. St. Joe have to get one. Trujillo fires that one towards the sideline. He's got a big pickup, but not enough. That's going to be fourth down.
That is the end.
18 on the Eau Claire Axemen. They're on. Offense has been Axemen's defense trying to pick up for the Axemen's offense. Just not really able to get things going, but here trying to fight back, have a strong lead ahead of them. We'll be back with more football after this. welcome back to more Arena League football here at the Sonentag Event Center in beautiful Eau Claire, Wisconsin. We're ready to start the fourth quarter in just a little bit, just wrapping up some in-house activities for everyone around, especially for the fans. Getting everyone active in this stadium, trying to get everyone pumped up and hyped to go, especially the Axemen fans out there. This is my home season. 2018 Axemen are close to the 20. For Boone, that's gonna for another first down in this quarter. Since one moved from, got a man there. It looked like a little bit of miscommunication between Trujillo and Marshall. We'll find Ely right across the middle of the field for a big time first down. Throws that one. That time gets Marshall. Marshall turns it up. Found Marshall on that right, burning his legs upfield for some extra yards. So now second down. Could not get past. Going to be brought down for maybe a gain of one, maybe Trujillo.
Loss him down.
So on fourth down, to clean it up. Initial press. Lanier will take over all the way. For the Goats, who are really keep running backwards and finally got brought down for another sack on the night. Fakes the hand. Armis almost. It's going to be incomplete. Hands great. St. Joe. Field with Gallard. And timeout's going to get called.
Prior to the delay of game, timeout. 30 seconds.
Prevent the offensive coordinator rushing out onto the field as there was a little bit of miscommunication. But a great job by Harry, really recognizing that, and that's why he's out there on the field doing what he does. Play on that defensive end to really get back out there. One of the field, really. And 10 to go here. Down. About there. Another touchdown for his third. And then this one is be incomplete. That's all unfortunate series of of the St. Joe Jr. The St. Joe Jr. His third one. This very last these last drives now. If he can catch it, and he did. He's at the around that 9 or 8 yard. He's going down. Watson, who had an interception in this one.
Offense.
That was good. Back them up about 5. Hilo backed up. Picking that one up. Left wide open in the middle of the field.
Rolling on
Goats left. But looks like Murphy's down on the ground as well too. So see him up and moving a little bit. Wide receivers out there. Had that full control of the ball. I kind of find it hard to believe it couldn't be.
After review. Upheld.
Pass, no fumble on that play. It just couldn't really, he couldn't really have had of that if he were turning up and running the field. However, it's going to be an incomplete ball, 2nd down and 10. Trujillo fires that one, almost under pressure, almost hit. Somehow gets that one across the Petrie. Come up with that interception. Come up with that interception. So it stays a one possession game, not one digit, one possession game, as the Axemen are down 8 to the Goats. (32-34), Goats on top. 8:38 left to go in this 4th quarter, and a big time play made to make sure it wasn't a double-digit lead or a double possession lead for the St. Joe Goats. But Boo Smith, I mean, what a perfect route ran there to not only free himself up, but get behind the defense to get that score. And then Trujillo, he's been on the money for most of the night, and he was on it for that time again. Puts the Goats right back up by 8 as this throw-off is underway. Butler Jr. returns that one. Gets maybe to the 15, maybe a little bit past, close towards that 17-yard line, but either way, that's where the Axemen will take over. And they were able to score on their last drive, but the Goats answered extremely quickly and cut this lead back to it, or brought this lead back to an 8-point game. 8:30 left in this 4th quarter, and they're going to need all the stops out here are the Axemen. Butler Jr. He'll be in motion here in a second. We've got Skarmas to his right. Gallard fires that one. Murray does not come up with that one. Hit his hand, but couldn't get that other hand up to catch it in time. It's going to bring up 2nd down and 10. 8:05 here to go in this 4th quarter. Almost gets his man, Josh Murray, there. Just couldn't really get that second outstretched arm to pull that back in. Axemen trying to move quickly here. Only 1 second left on the play clock. Barely enough time, and no, they're not going to get that off in time. It's going to be a penalty.
False start. Offense, number 1. 5-yard penalty. Second down.
They had less than 5 seconds to snap the play, and offensive coordinator Harrison Tamoris was trying to let them know, but no one was really set up and ready to go. And as soon as they got set up, someone jumped off sides. So Axemen down 8 with Malik Gillard back there trying to get the offense settled down, trying to get everyone to be on the right page. Sends Murray in motion. Gillard looking, pump fakes, fires that one, almost picked off, incomplete. Was looking for Butler Jr. over there. Almost had him there for a second too, but a great play by Darius Lorfils. Top up over the top and just knocked that down. Didn't get a hand on the jersey, didn't get anything. That was a very clean jump for that catch, or for that incompletion. So now Gillard, man in motions, Butler Jr. takes the snap, but there's gonna be another flag on the play there. And a lot of chatter about this.
Offside. Defense, number 21. 5-yard penalty. Third down.
So defensive encroachment, and that's going to be another 5-yard penalty, this time for the defense. 5 yards forward, 5 yards back, and now it's going to be 3rd down and 10 for this Axemen squad. Just very messy for both of these teams coming into this 4th quarter with what was a pretty clean 3rd and 2nd quarter. Now has been tarnished by this 4th quarter where there's been penalties awry all over the place. Gillard with Skarmas to his left, sends Butler Jr. in motion. Takes the snap, looks to throw, steps up, fires it, has Butler Jr., but too low. Too low for him, had him wide open there for a second. And it's gonna hit the ground and be incomplete with 6:30 to go here in this 4th quarter.
Eau Claire has elected to surrender. The ball will be placed at the 15-yard line. 1st and 10, St. Joseph.
So Axemen surrender that one rather than giving it back or potentially going for it on 4th down from their own 15. Flips the field. St. Joe's will have it at their own 15-yard line, marching on the Axemen. And even though it's been an 0-7 season for this Axemen squad, something to say about the camaraderie out there from this team. Just everyone's not pointing blame on anyone. Everyone's just trying to keep a positive outlook, trying to keep pushing ahead and making sure they're motivated forward. Axemen on the rush here with Trujillo looking around to throw it. Got his man for a second, but what a hit by Richie Murphy. Marshall's down the ground for right now. Slow to get up. I mean, what a hit by Richie Murphy. Marshall's up, just took a little bit of a stinger there from Murphy. Excellent job on the pass breakup. Dorr also almost got his hand on it. It's gonna bring up 2nd down and 10 from the 15. They're gonna take Marshall out of the game for now. Put Ely in. Or Ely and Petrie are both in now. After that last hit, just want to be safe with him. Player safety always comes first. As Trujillo sets up. Next to him is Wilson. Sends a man in motion. That's Boo Smith. Fires it over the middle. He's got Ely. Ely's got a big pickup there, about 7 or 8. It's going to bring up 3rd down. 5:48 to go here in this 4th quarter. Trujillo looks to pass. 2-man rush. Fires that one deep. He's got Boo Smith. Can he get it? It's going to be incomplete. Great job there by Ray Watson, getting his hand up to break it up. It's going to be incomplete and bring up 4th down here. It's an excellent job to get his eyes back on Boo Smith and track that ball down, not allow an easy catch, knock that one free. So now 4th down and short. Crowd is loud out here in the Sonnentag Center. Axemen switching defenses, runs up the middle. That's going to be a big-time 1st down there for Trujillo. Quarterback keeper, and he's going to pick up the 1st down. Clutch by Angelo Trujillo. So now Trujillo fires that one right. Boo Smith cuts it upfield, runs over a guy. Big time move by Boo Smith. Gets close to about 8 yards on that one as they continue to move quickly. Trujillo takes the snap, fires that one. Picked off! That's picked off! That's Ray Watson. He's gonna get up and keep moving. And then the ball came loose. He tried tossing that one away. And it's gonna stay with the Axemen though. Almost disaster after a big time play made by the defense. Ray Watson again. He's had some big time plays in the last couple of defensive drives, but then almost threw it away there at the end. Luckily, there was an Axemen player there to land on it. The hook and ladder works until it doesn't work, and that time it didn't work. 4:09 left to go here in this 4th quarter. 32-24, St. Joe over Eau Claire. Setting up Axemen, I formation, Skarmus right in front of Gallard, sends a man in motion, takes the snap, fires it, has a man, that's Butler Jr. Got his helmet ripped off, can he keep moving up forward? Finally gets brought down, flag on the play. May have been after. 2 flags down. And what was a 1st down might be losing some yards. However, just some pushing and shoving out there, and that's what we've been seeing all game long. Going all the way into this 4th quarter, and just a big time move by Butler Jr., but kept going backwards.
Foul, face mask, defense, 15-yard penalty added to the end of the run. Automatic 1st down.
So they're gonna call that a 15-yard penalty after the rough tackle that ended up with Butler Jr.'s helmet missing, which he can still stay on the field for the next couple of drives, or for this next drive, or this next play, I should say, mainly because that was a penalty, a penalized helmet falling off. If his helmet fell off naturally, he wouldn't be able to come back onto the field for this next play. However, he is. So now the Axemen are gonna get moved all the way up to the 15-yard line of St. Joe as the Goats try and quell this Axemen storm. Gallard scans the defense, sends his man in motion. Pop pass, that one's to Murray, couldn't come up with that one. Had his man for a second there. Murray didn't turn around in time, and Gallard had already let go of that football. It's gonna be incomplete. 2nd down. 2nd and 10 from the 15, as it's 3:22 to go in this 4th quarter. Axemen down 8. Gallard, Murray and Butler Jr. in motion. Takes the snap, Skarmus also there. He gets the catch, he's gonna move up forward. He's in for a touchdown. Big man on the move. In for the score, touchdown Axemen. Wow, what a play to Skarmus. Faked like he was going for the block and then went out for the pass. And then no one was able to bring him down once he got a full head of steam. Cuts the lead down to 2. Point after pending. And everyone's loving it here in the Sonntag Center. This back and forth battle between these two squads. Gallard takes the snap, shotgun. Fires that one over the middle. Got his man. Did he come down with it? On that far right side, he lasered that one into Joshua Murray, and that's gonna tie up this game. And the crowd goes wild here in the Sonntag Center. All tied up at 32 apiece with 2:53 to go in this fourth quarter. Big time play by Joshua Murray to catch that in that corner side. Got him right in the pocket there. And then he had to do the too little celebration at the end of that. So now, with this Sonntag Center rocking, Axemen have tied up this game at 32 with 2:53 to go here in this fourth quarter. And Skarmas got his first touchdown in the game. I mean, what a throw to Skarmas. And his play setup as well, too. Had him delay the block for a sec and then go out for the pass, I should say. Sat down and got that score as that throw off. Boo Smith catches that. He's got to return this one. Cuts it upfield. One man to beat. He's going to beat him, but he's going to go down. Couldn't bring him all the way down. Grant was the last man there, and he was the thrower for that one. Barely got enough of Boo Smith to bring him down. Big time play by Boo Smith. He can do it on all ends. Offense and special teams, doesn't matter. He's gonna be there. So with 2:42 left to go here in this fourth quarter, a tie game, Angelo Trujillo has some work to do in the Axemen 15-yard line. Still trying to set this up. Chains are a little tangled up there for the chain gang, trying to make sure that we are accurate with the placements. The delay so far, but it's not slowing down this Eau Claire Axemen crowd, who's still been pounding away. And with St. Joe's being 5-2, getting that 6th win tonight is going to be very important for them come playoff time, especially for seeding, as we got getting some Axemen help. Set up are the chains now. Trujillo looks to throw this one to the side. He's got Martinez. Martinez got some room to run. Closes quickly, though, around that 10-yard line, maybe closer to the 11. It's going to bring up 2nd down and 5 to go. Short passes have been just the Axemen's downfall for this last couple of drives. They've been able to really find some out routes, but they're going to need a turnover here or to stuff those up pretty quickly. Trujillo runs outside, trying to find someone. Comes across! Richie Murphy picked that off! Richie Murphy was sitting on it and came up for that pick. What a big-time play for the Axemen. Trujillo was looking for anyone to come up to help him out. And it was forced to throw across his body back towards the middle of the field, which is never a good idea. And Murphy made him pay on that one.
The 2-minute timeout.
Intercepted again in back-to-back drives. 32 all, 2 minutes to go here in the fourth quarter. And we're gonna send this one to break. We got more action for you right after this.
What if you could talk directly to your favorite Arena League player? Welcome to VIP Ballers, a social media platform where you can get direct access to your favorite player, DM them, get training for your young athlete, mentorship, personalized videos, and exclusive content. All you need to do is head to VIPballers.com, sign up, and follow your favorite TAL player.
Honey, the neighbors just stopped by. Can you throw these on the grill?
Garage beef? Huh. 5 more minutes.
All beef hot dogs. Filled with beer.
Honey, where are the gosh dang dogs?
5 more minutes.
Garage beef from Garage Beer.
What'd you do to these dogs?
Almost done.
Come on, man. Let's get it.
And we're back here with a tie ball game here on the Arena League as the Eau Claire Axemen knotted it up with the St. Joe Goats, 32 apiece. After a big-time interception, the Axemen are now going to be driving on the Goats. Trujillo, or Gaylord, I should say, sends a man in motion. That one gets knocked down. It's going to be incomplete. Has man set up there, was looking for Joshua Murray on that one, who he's gotten himself going here closer towards the end of this third quarter into the fourth quarter. He was acting as the backup quarterback throughout much of the last couple of games that Gaylord had knee injury for. Now back for the final home game here, and he's been having himself one. Gaillard looks to throw, fires that one. Butler Jr. fell down in the route. Couldn't get back up for that one. It's going to be incomplete. It's going to bring up 3rd down and 10 now. 2 quick throws, 2 quick incompletions. 3rd down and long, 1:52 left here in the fourth quarter. As Gaillard talks to the guys out there. Just been interesting to see what these guys are drawing up forward squad, as this is going to be, I believe, a timeout.
Please do not play music when the offense is at the line of scrimmage.
So it was actually, they were waiting for the Axemen to really get set up. So Gaillard, with Skarmas out right of him, sends a man in motion. That's Butler Jr. Gaillard looks, fires that one, looking for Butler Jr. deep, couldn't get him. And there's a flag! A flag on the play! Had his man downfield for a second, got caught up in the scuffle.
10-yard penalty, automatic, 1st down.
So that's gonna set them up around the 10-yard line. Number 11 called for that one. That's Ja'Kalen Jackson. 3 picks on the game for him, but got a little bit too much of the jersey on that one, so it's gonna push them for a 1st down automatically right around the 20-yard line. Maybe closer to that 19-yard line as Gaillard sets up, communicates with the offense, scans the defense, sends Murray in motion. Gaillard fires that, back to Murray, too low, incomplete. Incomplete on that one, and it's gonna bring up 2nd down and 10. Looking for Joshua Murray, who's been all over the place on offense. From running back to wide receiver to quarterback, he's played it all this season. As Gaillard talking with some of his guys out there. He's had himself a few interceptions, and there's going to be a
Prior to the
timeout
play
called.
clock expiring, timeout, Eau Claire, their second.
So the Axemen called their second charge timeout. A lot of confusion on the offense out there. No one was really lined up, and it was really getting close towards the end of the play clock. And this is one of the more important points of the game here, especially with a tie game, especially with how potent that St. Joe Goats offense has been. I mean, they run so quickly and so efficiently. Half the time, they don't even really need to have a huddle. They can go no huddle so quickly, and the Axemen have not been able to unlock that much of the season due to a lot of personnel that's been kind of interchanging throughout the season. Been having to find different players to fit in, but this Goats team has that type of chemistry that almost unspoken in the way that they've been able to complete a lot of this, compete on their offensive end. So now, Gallard. Skarmas outright, takes the snap. Wheeling back, looks to throw it. He's gonna have to throw that one away. He was before the line and he had a man around him, but there's gonna be a penalty.
Number 11 was in the area. Third down.
They might be saying he was over the line when he threw that. However, there was a player in the area when he had thrown it, so technically it wouldn't be an intentional grounding. We'll see if they pick up the flag or...
Illegal forward pass. Quarterback was beyond the line of scrimmage. 5-yard penalty includes loss of down. Third down.
It's going to bring up third down and a loss of 5 as Gallard had stepped in front of the line when he was trying to throw that ball away. He was just, he'd gotten out of the pocket so fast that he had somehow passed the line and just didn't see that he had gone by that line of scrimmage. And as you can see right here, he pump faked twice and just barely passed that marker when he threw that ball.
After review, the quarterback was behind the line of scrimmage. It's an incomplete pass. Third down.
So instead, it's going to stand as an incomplete pass on third down. They wanted to review it to make sure it was the correct call. It was not. As you saw there, it looked like he was behind the line by maybe a yard. It was close, but not close enough. So it will stand as a third down and 10. Wipe off that 5-yard penalty from the board. 1:38 to go here in this fourth quarter. Gallard with Skarmas up in front. Sends a man in motion, that's Murray. Fires that one over the middle. Has Murray for that first down. What a play. Murray on the crossing route, going from the middle all the way to the left side. Big time catch and a big time play. What a throw by Gallard, who's had a couple of ducks in his last couple of throws. Got him on the money that time. And that's going to lead to a first down with 1:32 left to go here. And they're in Goats territory at the 16-yard line. Gallard. 5 seconds to go here. They need to get set up. And that one was a toss. And that got wrapped up and brought down. Big time play on the defensive end there for James Bell, who came around that side and tripped him up just in time. But Axemen, again, getting really low on that play clock and resulting in them having to really speed it up. Two men went in motion and almost collided. 1:05 to go here. Still getting low on the play clock again. Gallard sends a man in motion. Takes the snap. Has plenty of time. Fires that one across his body. Incomplete. Was looking for Skarmas to come back. Skarmas was already past that 10-yard line by the time he had thrown it, though, so that's going to be an incomplete ball. Lucky that that Goats player didn't come back a little bit sooner, because that could have easily been an interception, maybe even an interception for a touchdown if he had read that sooner. But instead, it is third down and about 12 here, right around the 16-yard line. Crowd gets a wave going, but Gallard looks to throw, steps up. He's got time, he's gonna fire that one. Had his man, that's gonna be picked off. Intercepted, returnable. He's still going, down to the 20, still going to the 15, down to the 10, what a move! Huge interception on that end. Joko Willis. And that one just bounced right off the hands of Sandifer and went right into the hands of Willis, who then turned on the jets and sped up past almost all of the offensive players to set up his team now inside of the 10-yard line of the Axemen. And I mean, that is about as bad as it can get if you're an Axemen fan. 32-32, 34 seconds to go left in the fourth quarter. Goats take over at the Axemen 10. Trujillo runs it up the middle. He's got space. He's got time. Can he get in? He did! Touchdown, Goats! What a move on that far left side to be able to keep churning those legs forward and reaching in for a touchdown. Angelo Trujillo putting the squad on his back, said, "This one's on me, guys." And with 28 seconds to go, Goats hold a 38-32 lead here in the fourth quarter. Extra point pending here. Trujillo sends Smith in motion. Shotgun fires that, knockdown incomplete. Got tipped at the line and then got knocked down again. Excellent job there by Willie McCaleb to get right in front of the ball. Number 21 out there, and that's going to be an incomplete ball. He thought he was going to get an interception on that one, but just needed to at least knock that one down. So it stays a 6-point lead here as the Axemen are down 38-32 to the Goats. And what a run by Angelo Trujillo, just following his blockers and then taking just a giant leap towards that goal line. Barely got his hand in, just right outstretched over the top, and he's big enough to be able to do it and strong enough to be able to hold on to that ball through contact, and he did. Scoring that touchdown, giving the Goats the lead after the Axemen had just tied it. So now, Axemen with 28 seconds left, 6-point game. Still plenty of time out there as the Axemen also only have 1 timeout left. All of these plays have to be either towards that sideline or have to be pretty deep. That's gonna be returnable. Picked up. He's got space! He's got movement! What a return back after it had gotten knocked around for Bryant Smith. The ball bounced once. It looked like it was going to bounce out of bounds, and it didn't. Bryant Smith had the awareness to pick that thing up, knew that it was still live, and returned it all the way to the 15 of the Goats. Excellent job there by Bryant Smith to not only be aware of where that ball was, but know that he needs to keep running with that football, and was able to find some space and get down to the 15 before finally being brought down. And with 22 seconds left on the clock, first down at the 15 of the Goats. Axemen looking to roll forward. Gallard sends Smith in motion. Steps back, no pressure until now, fires that across his body. He's got a man! Touchdown, Butler Jr.! Bo Butler Jr., 4th touchdown of the night! Axemen tie this game up at 38 with 15 seconds to go. What a throw across his body to the open Butler Jr. And now, Axemen have the chance here to take the lead if they can get this extra point. 15 seconds left on the clock. This is why you watch Arena League football. And I mean, I've seen passes like that before get picked off, but Gallard just barely found that.
Eau Claire has elected to go for 2 points from the 10-yard line.
Offense still trying to talk it over before they have an extra point try. Calling timeout though.
Timeout. Eau Claire
is the
their
Axemen.
third and final.
Harrison
30 seconds.
Tamoras is not happy about having to burn that last timeout, especially with how much time is left on the clock. 15 seconds. Goats have not burned one timeout. They have plenty of time out there, and the Axemen have a very important extra point coming up here that could potentially put them over the top of this Goats team that they've been trailing almost this entire time, almost this entire game. But we're able to come back with some very important defensive stops, especially some turnovers, some interceptions. Trujillo not really looking like himself in this fourth quarter. So now, Axemen looking to set this up. And we've seen them do a couple of different trick plays already in this game. They had a hook and ladder to start off the scoring for them, which Joshua Murray caught it around the 20-yard line of St. Joe and then tossed it back to Butler Jr., who had scored it. So they aren't afraid to pull out all the stops here, especially to try and get their first win of the season. So Butler Jr. and Murray both lined up next to Gallard. Sends both in motion. Skarmas right behind him. Looks to throw. Trying to duck and dive. Gets that one away. Skarmas somehow gets that one up. He's going to keep moving forward. He's almost to the 5. But with the flag on the play, we'll have to see what this is about. As of right now, it's a
personal foul. Face mask. Defense, number 15. Half the distance to the goal. Replay, the point for try.
Axemen get another try here and some extra yardage on it as well, too. Inside the 5 of the Goats. And you can see it right there, plain as day. Just cannot be grabbing that face mask. Almost escaped. Great job by Gallard to get out of that, but as soon as you even get a finger on that face mask, they're going to look at you. So now, fans on their feet here in the Sonnentag Center. 15 seconds left to go here in the fourth quarter. Extra point to put the Axemen over the top. Murray in motion. Same with Butler Jr. Hand off to Skarmas. Skarmas goes up the top. He's going in! Skarmas takes the lead for the Axemen. 1 point lead for the Axemen. 39-38. Great job by Skarmas to follow the blocking, and he's just too big to bring down when he's got a full head of speed. Misdirection of 2 players in motion, and then hands it straight off to Skarmas after they haven't had a single handoff under center almost all game long. The one time they do it is the one time when it matters. 39-38 Axemen over the top of the Goats with 15 seconds to go here in this fourth quarter. That timeout being burned at the end shown that it was important because they were able to come away with another score at the end of that one, that extra try. And now with 15 seconds left, hold a 1 point lead here in the Sonnentag Center, trying to get their first home win of the season. Trying to get their first win of the season as well as their first home win. So now, set back to return this one is Boo Smith. He was able to return one for a good distance before. Let's see what he can do with this one now. Throwing this one off is Cinque Grant. That one bounces out of the back of the end zone. Non-returnable for Smith. And that's going to bring them up for a touchback at the 5-yard line. Not an ideal position for the Goats. They were really hoping that Smith was going to be able to get a hold of that and return it, because he can turn a 5-yard gain into 15 when given enough space and time. But with 15 seconds left to go here in the Axemen up 1. Defense playing back up off the ball. But even then, they have all 3 timeouts. Plenty of time for this Goats team to be able to keep going in this one as the roar of the crowd drowns out the offense. Trujillo, shotgun. He's got one man coming on for him already. Almost intercepted. He's behind the defense. He's gone. Ely, touchdown.
Offside. Defense. That penalty is declined. Resulting play is a touchdown.
Wow. What a play by Ely. From the 15, he had caught it. Both players went for the interception instead of going for the player, and it resulted in a big-time touchdown. No one was back behind him. Just a miscommunication on the defensive side of the ball, and the wind has been taken out of the Sonnentag Center. As with 6 seconds left to go here, St. Joe's leads by 5 with an extra point coming. Ref still talking it over with both squads to really know what happened, but just a bad miscommunication there on the defensive end, allowing a big-time play by Ely, who had a big-time play earlier as well, too, and has been making those little grabs that can make a big difference out there, such as some first down grabs. And Ely just put his stamp on this game with 6 seconds left to go here in this 4th quarter. So now the Axemen trying to prevent an extra point here on the play. Wilson out left, sends Smith in motion. Pressure's coming. Trujillo's got to try and escape. He's going to toss it, and he's just going to call it. He's just going to call it right there. A very aware job by number 83 on the offense. That's Oscar Scott, the center. As soon as that ball got pitched to him, he just took the knee, because that is an extra point to try. And any extra time or any extra points to give to this Axemen team is not wise. So just call it after that one. Still a 5-point game right now. 6 seconds left to go in this 4th quarter, and already we've seen the lead change twice in the last 15 seconds of this game. I mean, what a back and forth from 2 squads that have a history together, albeit one has had a more successful season. Both play each other both play each other almost as if they're rivals, with how tense it is out here, and especially with how much they talk to each other out on the field. So right now the throw-off team's still trying to get set up, trying to make sure this isn't going to be a returnable play for the Axemen, who back there have Butler Jr., who is also a dangerous returner. Whereas number 1, same as Boo Smith on the other team, both 2 dangerous returners. That one's gonna bounce up, and not be returned. So that will give the Axemen the ball at around the 5-yard line. After not being returned there by Butler Jr., that one just kind of bounced right in front of him. 6 seconds to go left. 6 seconds left in this 4th quarter. 44-39, St. Joe on top of the Axemen. There's only a limited, kind of limits your playbook having to play against the 6 seconds here. No timeouts remaining for the Axemen. This might be the last play unless they can get a quick one off here. Gallard motions. No pressure. Fires that one deep towards the end zone. Incomplete. Incomplete. And the Axemen will lose this final game at home.
The end of the game.
They were very close to a near upset win. But the Goats come off with a miraculous pass play with 15 seconds to go. That gave the St. Joe Goats the lead and eventually the win here tonight. Goats win 44-39 over the Eau Claire Axemen. Axemen fall to 0-8 on the season. Could not get that first win here at home, as a lot of players are disappointed with how this one ended. But this one was really a testament to how hard both of these teams play out there, especially with the tenacity that they play with and the rivalry we've seen so far. We'll have more Arena League action for you right after this. And we give a final welcome back here to the Sonentag Center. Last time this season as the team falls 39-44 to the St. Joe Goats. Just a back and forth excellent game between the two. Quite literally one of the best offensive and defensive games you're probably going to see this season, going all the way up to that final 15 seconds before they really found a victor at the end of it. Gallard had some great plays on this one, but there was even more drops on his end. Could not find some players, and the defense by the St. Joe corners, especially the defensive backs and the linebackers, really were a testament to the defensive strategy that the Goats had implemented throughout much of this game. And I mean, you saw that with how many interceptions Gallard threw, almost 4 interceptions on the night for him. just could not find his way throughout much of it, and as that rust from his knee injury had been much of a problem throughout much of the season. Now for this St. Joe squad, they're going to go on to the playoffs and potentially face off against some other teams that you have also seen before, as well as Monroe, and just waiting on some of the other teams to actually finish out the rest of their games. But the Axemen here are going to fall 0-8 on the season. They will not be going to the playoffs. However, they had a lot of really great games that ended in one score and or 1 point losses that really brought them in with this squad. And it was a real honor to be able to cover them, as well as be able to bring the Arena League to you and to your home throughout much of this season, as well as a big shout out to everyone that has worked on this. Shout out to the production squad who was in and around with me throughout much of the night. And then also a big time shout out to the fans that were out there, and especially the fans that are still out there tonight, really came to support the squad. And then also a big shout out to everyone who's been able to come out and help us with putting on these games. It's been an honor and such a pleasure to be able to see that. And also shout out to the Eau Claire Axemen squad as well as the St. Joseph's Ghosts, because that was a heck of a game between the two as it went back and forth throughout much of this night, and especially with that guy right there in Bo Butler Jr. From here in the Sonitech Center to you and your home, we hope you have a great rest of your night as the St. Joe Goats will move on to the playoffs, winning this one 44-39 here in the Sonitech Center. Thank you and good night.